jamming along with my live stream. Wait until it pops up on YouTube. Yeah, that was quick. Sweet. Figure sending them by the computer is way easier. What else? And bam. And bam. Alright, I can actually watch the video. Hey. It's muted. Here we go. Dogs are barking already. It's that type of day. Alright. Here we go with another live stream. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. Back with another Sunday live stream. Got the wheel pen send behind me. You know the drill. It's on the screen. You can read it, hopefully. So yeah, here with you guys for a couple hours. And let's have some fun. Last week, if you guys didn't join us, you had me do the entrance of the Ultimate Warrior, Jeff Hardy, and Bianca Belair of NXT. So it was very, very different time frames of people. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's have some fun today. Maybe give away some shirts. This is the live stream. I'm giving away a shirt. It's got to be, right? It's got to be. I've done like 5 or 6 of these streams, and yet I have not given away a single t-shirt. 99-cent super chat. Appreciate it, Alex. But the spin the wheel pen send is a $10 super chat or Streamlabs. Streamlabs link is right here. Right there, streamlabs.com/luckytodraw1. You get a fancy graphic. You get your name on the stream for the duration or until like 5 other people donate. And then there you go. So appreciate the first super chat, Alex. And let's get to some of these comments because I know you guys are looking forward to this as much as I am. So here we go. The This Guy Experience. Very nicely done. Yo, Greg. Hey, what's up? Gary, what's up, Cherry? Not a whole lot. Celebrating day number 428 of my Wrestling Trivia Challenge Championship reign. As I mentioned on the No DQ&A live yesterday, Season 7 is coming soon. We are talking about doing the tag team tournament. So if you want to get your name in the hat, if you think you can give me a shot during the course of the tournament, submit your Skype information and submit your availability to film to nodqmisc@gmail.com. And then that way, you guys can put your name in the hat for the tournament. If we have enough spots, then we'll... It's going to take a little more work this time around just because of how many people need to be involved with each taping because it is a tag team tournament. But it should be a good time. Cindy's on the stream. Yes. I know Cindy's missed the first or the last couple because she had to work, so it's good to see you, Cindy. You asked this yesterday to Aaron, was the WWE and WCW title lineage? Are you talking about the title history, or are you talking about when it was created, or... Alex James, I forgot to DM you about how you would book WWE for the next 6 months. I will, so you have a topic for next time with guidelines. That'll probably have to be a separate video. That might have to be just like a pre-taped video because that'll take a lot of work just to book the WWE for 6 months straight. Straight Edge Gamer, what's up? How you doing? You're on one of my streams instead of one of Chris's. Although I'm pretty sure he's streaming after I am anyway. What's up, Don? How you doing? Big G, what's up, everyone? Big G in the house. Ted and Old, who I just mentioned, Chris Ross. Pop my cherry, yes. Just had some fun with Jackbox games with you on the other day. Cindy with the $10 live, or the super chat, rather. For the question, how confident are you with AEW? Wanted to hear your thoughts on it. Well, I'll give you my thoughts on it, and then we'll get you a spin on the wheel. AEW, I think, will do okay. I really think with the deal they just inked with, I believe, TNT, that they will do well. And let's hope that it's the Monday Night Wars Part 2. I have more faith in this than I did against TNA because WCW did not have weekly television until Nitro began. And it did take them about a year to finally surpass the WWE in terms of quality. So I did compare in our No DQ chat this to the second coming of the new generation era, where the storylines were complete garbage. And the in-ring action was, I mean, the in-ring action is better than it was 20-some years ago, but the storylines are about the same level. So let's hope this is a wake-up call for the WWE, and I hope AEW does well. I never want to root for wrestling companies to go under. And Ken with a $10 super chat. Wow, 2 spins right off the bat. That's awesome. Ken says, thanks, Champ, for answering my redundant questions. But seriously, Cherry, thank you for responding to my typing. You are the man. Absolutely, Ken. But let's get this in order. Let's get Cindy's spin done right now, and let's see if we can get her a shirt or an entrance, or let's see what we get. An entrance. We're back to the entrances, Cindy. I'll give you time. I'll do Ken's spin. I'll give you time for you to request an entrance for me. So you think about that, and Ken, I will get your spin right now. Road story. Okay, I'm going to tell you a story about my time in the Indies. So let's see. So I went to this one show, and I felt terrible about going because it was like a day or two after my grandma had passed, and like a day or two before her like viewing and stuff. But I went to this indie show. It was early January, and it was snowing. I mean, the weather was terrible. And the show that this happened in was like this garage. And there was no heat in this garage. So Ian Joplin with $9.99. I'll round it up for 10. I'll get you a spin here shortly. I think that's only fair. He was a penny off. I'm not gonna make him donate another penny. But I was working this show, and I swear to you, I could not feel my feet during the course of it. I don't know how they packed like 50 to 100 people in that like garage area, but it was freezing cold. I could not feel my feet. And like the setup of it was so poor. They did like a chain match or like a dog collar match, and like they bled. It was ridiculous for like that level of an indie show. But afterwards, we went to, I believe, like Long John Silver's, or somewhere to eat. And my friend Bobby and I, who you've seen before on the No DQ channel, like way back a year ago, and you'll probably see him more in the future. Cindy, I already did Bianca Belair's last week. You want me to do it again? Back to my story. So Bobby he went to the bathroom real quick, and one of the other indie guys was waiting outside the bathroom for him. And when Bobby came out of the bathroom, he like legit grabbed him and gave him a shoot stone cold stunner in the middle of the restaurant. Absolutely hilarious. So that was a good time. Lacey Evans. Okay, sorry, Rift. I'm probably gonna have to break your. You're probably gonna get an email here shortly. But also, I do want to. I do want to get Ian's spin out of the way also while I'm at it. So if he gets entrance, he has time to think too. So Ian, here's your spin. See what we're doing. Another. it comes up on entrance again. So Ian, you have time. I'll see what I can do with Lacey Evans. It's not very detailed, but I'll do what I can. So, yep, another entrance. So let's see here. Let me pull up the tubes of you and let's. Wonder if there's a Mario Paint version of her theme. Probably not yet. No, I don't think so. Oh, there is an 8-bit version. Neat. Okay, cool. All right. So it's an 8-bit version of Lacey Evans' theme. So we'll go with that. And Ian, you have time to come up with an entrance, and we will see what you do for that. All right. Let's see if this even sounds anywhere half decent. Yeah, that's not bad. All right. Guess I gotta turn the volume up. She doesn't really do much else in these, so that one's not a tough one. There you go. Ian Joplin, Val Venus. Oh boy. I just saw that. All right. All right, give me 1 second. And let me see if I can... All right. Nah. I feel like I need his actual theme song. So, sorry, Rick. Give me 1 second. Okay. So, you guys will get this. This guy experience. You're broke due to Mom's Day and Aaron. So here you go. Appreciate the super chat. All right, so here we go. All right. Why is it starting like right off the bat? Is autoplay on? Yeah, autoplay's on. That's why. Okay. All right. So, all right. Give me 1 second, and I will do this entrance for you. Props for this one. This may not work as much as I had hoped.
Hello, ladies.
There you go. So I hope you enjoyed that. See, I tell you, I do not shy away from any entrances whatsoever. Fortunately, I'm not getting blown up too bad with these. Gave me Warrior last week. It took me like 10 minutes to recover. All right. So let's get back through some of these comments. See, this is what you guys, if you don't get to check out the live stream on a regular basis, oh my goodness, Joe Walsh, $30 super chat. Holy crap. It's not going bad, Joe, but you know what? I appreciate you being a reaction room brother. I'm going to give you the spins anyway. Tell you what, this is an awesome stream already. So, Joe, I am still going to give you the spins because, I mean, that's the kind of guy I am. Now, since you have multiple spins, I want to let you know, if you ever hit bankrupt, which fortunately I haven't during the course of the stream, if you hit bankrupt, like in your second spin, whatever you got in your first spin goes away. But I haven't hit it yet. So let's see what we got here. Appreciate the super chat, Joe. Another entrance. So think of one, Joe, but wait for the other two spins. Oh no! Oh no! I just called it. I just called it, and it happened. But you do have one more spin left. So it's kind of a good thing that, I didn't even have the sound effect up because I've never hit it before. Hold on. Where is it? I don't think I have it in here. Oh, I do. So since that happened. But you do have one more spin, Mr. Walsh, so here we go. Well, you get an entrance out of it anyway, so there you go. So Jill, send me an entrance. Let me know which one you want me to do. And we will continue on from there. All right. So let me go back through these chats. I haven't expected this much as far as super chats go, but it's awesome. I'm not complaining. Not complaining at all. It's a good Mother's Day already. We're not even 20 minutes in. It's awesome. All right. Ian Joplin, could you see right to censor working in today's PG PC era? Absolutely. I mean, right to censor, like, obviously it worked in the Attitude Era, but now, with everybody being offended by everything, I think it would work even better now. Granted, there's not as much stuff to censor as there was during the Attitude Era, but I feel like they could probably work in this day and age. Maybe not with the same group of people, but maybe if you had Steven Richards be like their mouthpiece, because he was very good at that. It was a great gimmick for him. I thought it worked well. This guy experienced title history. Like after the Undisputed title came and went, then came again, does it count? Well, WCW title history starts back, I believe, 89, 89 through 91, around there. And then Ric Flair left to go to the WWE in 91. And they also had the WCW International Heavyweight Championship. So, and then they combined that when they realized it's like, this title's really not working. So, just gonna scroll down here and see if Joe still hasn't sent me an entrance yet. So, if he doesn't send me one in the next 5 minutes, I might let you guys pick another one, because I did land on entrance, so one as promised. Ken says, hi, champ. Cindy says, I got one, but after your Rose story. I guess that was for the entrance. Yes, happy Mother's Day, GG Vision. For example, my knowledge since WWE and WCW merged together twice, wouldn't Booker T have like 3 more world title reigns than they actually talk about? Well, Booker T has 6 world heavyweight title reigns, 5 WCW, which includes the one he won in WWE, and the world heavyweight title he won in 2006. So he does have 6. Straight Edge Gamer, I might be streaming myself, but you have a great stream, brother. It's already a good one. Already definitely a good one. Chris Cahill, was D'Lo Brown underrated during his time? I felt he had a lot of potential that wasn't used. I like D'Lo Brown. I actually got to see him at an indie show in 2005. He was a great athlete. And he definitely worked during the Attitude Era. I'm not sure what it was that he couldn't push himself to the upper echelon, because he was Intercontinental and European champion at the same time, actually. So, I don't know. I don't know what it was that, because he was a good talker too. So but I guess he just wasn't at the level of like The Rock or something like that. Hi all, says Rich Daddy. How you doing? I'm behind on the comments, obviously, because I got a lot of super chats and not a lot of time, which is not a bad thing by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not complaining at all. Ken, sounds like Tony Atlas' story when he was homeless, but Cindy, a Greg Cherry classic. And then Ken commenting on the entrances. You have a question about my story. Were you wearing slippers or boots during your story? I was actually wearing like dress shoes, because I was like in a full suit and tie and all that stuff. So I was wearing dress shoes. I was a manager for a couple different people that show. But it was such a weird... I kind of felt... There aren't many indie shows that you kind of feel weird being at, but that was one of them. I don't know what you're talking about, Iconic Thrive. Unorthodox Man, hey Greg, glad to catch another live stream. Glad you're here. We've had a lot of fun already. Let's see. Unorthodox Man, hello ladies. Chris Cahill, this was asked about last night, but what 80s wrestler would work best in today's era? Bret Hart might actually be like a nice throwback, because he wrestled in the 80s too, don't forget that. He would probably still be popular today. I think Bret would actually absolutely fit in this mold today if he was in his prime. Anyway, back to the title history. This is from the This Guy Experience. Some superstars should have more title reigns, I think, due to the merger and divided WWE and WCW titles back in the day. I'm not really sure what you mean by that. But I mean, they do have a lot of title reigns. WWE acknowledges all of the WCW title history. So I'm really not sure what you mean by that. Unorthodox man, Greg rolling in the Benjamins. So far, yeah, but it's slowed down quite a bit. Let's see. Brandon Dvorak, did you like Ready to Rumble? It was okay. I mean, it's not one that I will seek out to watch again, but if it's on, I might just check it out. I have seen it, but it was okay. Nothing more than that. Cherry Mark 23, Nicholas versus Mrs. Dad at WrestleMania 36. It's quite the age gap. That would probably be the biggest age gap in WrestleMania history if that match ever happened. Ken says, I like Stevie Richards as the leader of the RTC, despite the Godfather not liking him. Well, I mean, I think the Good Father was... It worked in there. It worked with the right to censor, and like he was really hated as a heel when he was part of RTC. RTC was huge as heels in 2000, 2001 timeframe. And they only won the tag team titles out of that. But hey, do what you can. Noah says, I buy it. Joe Walsh with another $2. I'm giving my entrance to Ken terminated by Google. All right. All right. So, Ken, you get to choose an entrance. Yeah, Joe Walsh is good people. Definitely is. Chris Cahill, would the Rick Rude character work in today's WWE? Probably. I think he would definitely be appreciated by today's audience. Cherry Mark, who do you see winning Money in the Bank? Had to be a heel, 3 babyface champs. From the men's, could you see Andrade catching in on Kofi or Rollins? I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I think if you want a super hated heel, you have Baron Corbin win Money in the Bank, cash it in on Kofi. Because everybody would hate the fact. Like, if he cashed in on Rollins, people would be like, oh man, that sucks. If he cashed in and beat Kofi, everybody would hate that. That's where I think the heel money lies for Corbin. Okay, do you have a towel? Because I'd like you to do a Kurt Hennig towel entrance. So you want me to be Mr. Perfect, is that what you're saying? I'm sure I could find like a small one. I don't have a piece of gum either, but I could try that. Okay, you want... All right, I'm gonna have to get like a small towel from the bathroom, which fortunately is just right outside the door, so give me 1 second. All right, let's see here. Oh, that works. I found Mr. Perfect's theme from the Super Nintendo version of Royal Rumble. So, cool. So let's get that. Let's. Why are they all autoplay? They shouldn't. All right. So here we go with another entrance. I have to tilt up a little bit. You might be able to see me. Well, the wheel's back in place. The wheel's back in place. I missed. Botch. Botchamania. Elite Deadshots. How you been, McCherry? What's up, Joe? How you doing? Mister. I could be. We could be Buzz. You know, it's cool. Ken says, spend $10 and you might see Cherry do an entrance. I've done a few already. I did Lacey Evans. I did Mr. Perfect. I did Val Venus. So you guys are definitely hitting the gamut of entrances as far as this is concerned. Going back. Ken says, I think Kurt did the towel thing when he was in WCW, but I could be wrong. I think he did too. At least when he was still kind of still doing the Mr. Perfect thing, like before he was NWO. But I know he didn't do it when he was part of the West Texas Rednecks. Cherry Mark says, could we see Samoa Joe attack Dominic? Possibly. I've heard that Dominic is training to be, or is trained to be a wrestler. So that could be interesting. Just depends on if he has the personality to pull it off. So we'll see. Cool Brothers Radio Podcast says, oh gosh, that was probably to my Corbin winning Money in the Bank and cashing in on Kofi. Antonio Jones, you need Spotify. They got the themes. Well, Rift yelled at me when I used the freaking like actual themes. So that's why I get the 16-bit versions. I can find the other versions without a problem, but that's what I do. Ken says, I don't know about you, but Joe's the sweetest guy I've ever met. He's a good dude. Yeah, Joe is definitely a good dude. Sure, I might be the only one that kind of likes the West Texas Rednecks. I like hip-hop and I like the Rap is Crap theme. I actually just listened to the Rap is Crap theme like a week ago. It was classic. I was singing along with it. Cherry, it's okay if you don't know the answer, but do you know who the actual singer for the Rap is Crap theme? I know Jimmy Hart produced it. I'm pretty sure Kurt Hemming sang it. I'm pretty sure it was actually Kurt Hemming. Chase Game says Aaron yelled at you. Well, it wasn't like yell. It was like, it's just like, it's try not to use the actual themes because money issues, whatever. You see Brock Lesnar getting involved in the match between AJ and Seth. I'm not so sure. He just retired from UFC, so he might come back. I don't feel like there's going to be a clean finish with AJ and Rollins. Which kind of disappoints me, and that's kind of why I felt they should have saved it for SummerSlam. There's going to be something. There's going to be something different. Cherry Mark, Yo Greg, CM Punk just signed a 2-year deal and will face Shane at SummerSlam. Was that on No DQ? Because I never saw that and I never heard anything about that. Chris Cahill, what wrestler was the biggest dick you have encountered on the Indies or WWE? Fortunately, none of the WWE guys or anybody that was ever there was ever a problem with me. Buff Bagwell was a really cool guy. I met him. We worked the same indie show like 10 years ago together. He was a good dude. There were a couple guys on the Indies, though, that were complete douchebags. I mean, there's always got to be one or two. But probably nobody that anybody here would know. Ken says, I don't know if it was Kurt since Kurt lip-synced his performance in Thunder, but you could be right. No. Cindy says, I can name one, MJF. Never met Maxwell Jacob Friedman, so I can't attest to that. Elite Des Shots. So what do you think about AEW being on TNT possibly? I addressed this earlier. I think it's a good thing, and I hope it leads to another Monday Night War. If they decide to air on Monday nights. If not, then that's their own deal, but I'm not sure what that could lead to. Cherry Mark says, is the Undisputed Era breaking up? There's been tension with Cole and Strong. Please don't break them up so they all get lost in the shuffle. I don't know. It looks like that, but it could just be like a giant thing where to ease the mind of one Johnny Gargano. So that like Cole was worried about the Undisputed Era, and then all of a sudden Strong comes out and be like, "Oh no, we don't have any problems. We just did that." But hey, Ken says Mark Bagwell seems like a nice guy despite WWE not liking him. He could be a solid upper mid Carter. I'm not sure what the deal was with Buff Bagwell in 2001, but he lasted that show and then was completely gone. Henning could make it in today's business because, well, he was perfect. He could probably be tag team partners with his son. I see it happening. Monday Night War version 2. Don Bowen says, Cindy, how's your grandma? So, there goes Cindy. Somebody's asking about that. Ken says, Cherry Mark Roderick Strong could do well on his own if the Undisputed Era break up. We figure Strong was on his own before he joined the Undisputed Era. So, it's very possible he could do well for himself also. WWE hates no DQ. Would it be better for a Wednesday night war with AEW and NXT? I don't know if AEW would want to go head to head with NXT. Granted, NXT is on the network and people can catch up on that whenever. AEW almost might be better off doing. They might be. I don't know. I don't know what their deal entails, so there might not be a specific day of the week to go after. Chris Cahill, I feel Adam Cole wouldn't get lost in the shuffle as much as the rest of the Undisputed Era. I mean, if we look at how they're booked now in NXT, then they are probably... Adam Cole is probably going to be the most successful out of any of them. You figure... I feel bad for O'Reilly and Fish, because I feel like they will be lost in the shuffle if they get called up. Especially with how tag teams are treated on the main roster. But we'll see. Chase Games, I wouldn't break up Undisputed Era if it did happen. I would just let them all turn on Cole and Strong. Turn on Cole and Strong becomes the leader of the Undisputed Era. That would be interesting. I think them turning on Cole is the most likely scenario because you figure Adam Cole has his own shirts. Like Adam Cole has the Undisputed Era shirt, but he also has his own merch. It'd be like, hey, you think you're bigger than all of us, and you think you're better than the Undisputed Era, so this is how we treat you. We are undisputed, and you're not, or something like that. Antonio Jones with the $2 super chat. AEW could run Raw off Monday night on TNT. I think that a Monday Night War would probably be their best bet. I think, especially with the way Raw is being booked, people would want to turn into AEW on Monday nights. So I hope that works out for them. Ken says, Antonio, I thought TNT was done with wrestling. Well, AEW signed a deal with TNT. That's just what they announced fairly recently. So Ted Turner's getting back into the wrestling game. So I hope it does well for them. I really do. Antonio, CM Punk is with AEW at that time. I see that. Blizz says New Jack is the best wrestler ever. Would AEW run from 9 to 11 if Raw's first hour is trash, then they flip over? I think 2-hour show would be best for them. Granted, Nitro used to run 3 hours, and Raw only ran 2. So, like, Nitro would give away the results. I don't see Raw doing that because you do that, and karma is a evil thing. Cherry Mark, Walter's New Stable versus Dunn, Bate, and Wolfgang versus Undisputed Era War Games 2019. That's if they're all still in NXT. I mean, we got a long time before War Games comes around. That's not until November. And some of them may be called up by SummerSlam timeframe or the night after SummerSlam. So we'll have to see. Chris Cahill, if Finn wasn't injured at SummerSlam, would he have had a lengthy title reign and feud with Seth? Finn definitely would have had a long title reign, and it probably wouldn't have ended up being Goldberg and Lesnar for the Universal title. I mean, maybe it would have been, but hopefully not. Cool Brothers Radio Podcast. You are pro wrestling encyclopedia, GC. Well, I appreciate that. I mean, I've been wrestling trivia champion for almost the length of the CM Punk's title reign. Actually, next Sunday, I will have it beat. So we'll have a celebration next week. All right. So, Rick Marone, question. I know SmackDown is moving to Fox. I know they want at least 3 million viewers, and the way ratings have gone. Could you see Fox pull out their TV deal and SmackDown remain on USA or what network? No, that Fox is advertising SmackDown already. So they put the money in. They're not going to yank it from them. So SmackDown's just going to have to up their game. And a lot more people have Fox even today than like the cable channel. So we will see how like streaming numbers or anything like that affect it. TV ratings anymore are not that big a deal because there are so many streaming services. So I'm not sure if they do that strictly by TV or how they do the rating system anymore. But traditional Nielsen ratings are outdated. So I don't know. Cherry Mark, could we see a heel turn from Big E because of the KO storyline? Excuse me. Joe Wolf says, have a great day, Greg. I'm out. I appreciate the super chat, Joe's, or the super chats, Joe. So we'll talk to you later in the reaction group chat. Cherry Mark is asking, could we see a heel turn from Big E because of the KO storyline? They celebrate after Kofi retains, and then Big E hits a big ending on Kofi and Xavier. Has no idea what's going on. Everybody keeps talking about Big E being the one to turn. I think if anyone should turn in the New Day, if they ever do, it should be Woods. I really think Woods could be a big star. He's a great talker. He's a great athlete. And I think he could get over as a heel the best. Because a lot of people see the turn coming from Big E. No one would see it coming from Xavier because Xavier is very loyal. But I somehow see that happening. Or at least it would make sense to me. I think it could be very well booked. The League Deadshots. Yeah, what's next for the PA Sensation? Well, Season 7 is coming up of the Wrestling Trivia Challenge. And we're doing a tag team tournament. Not to become the tag team champions. It's the winner. The winning team gets to face me in a triple threat match. Which I am not looking forward to exactly because triple threats are... I mean, the last triple threat I was in, I won. So, I mean, I can't complain too much. But it's a different animal when you're the defending champion. Just ask Jeff, because he was the one who lost it in the triple threat. But yeah, the tag team tournament will be happening. If you want to be in, submit your stuff to nodqmisc@gmail.com, and we will get you all set up that way. And we need your Skype name and availability in that email. So the days you're available to film, the times you're available to film, and your Skype username. All important. I will probably be hosting the tournament again, just because... Now, I want to put this out for you. The tournament was Riff's idea this time around. Like, just for something different. I was all ready to defend the title like every week again, like previous season, but Riff wanted to do the tag team title tournament, and, well, he runs the channel. It's his show, so there you go. Cherry Mark says, heel turn from AJ after the Seth match. The club helped AJ. The club cost Rollins by DQ, so we get heel club running Raw. Yeah, that's possible. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be a clear-cut one-on-one babyface versus babyface match by the end of the night. It just feels like something is going to happen. I'm not sure what that is, but we will see. Antonio Jones, WWE would be totally different all around if Finn Balor never got hurt against Seth. We're still feeling the effects it had on the company. The good thing about Finn Balor getting hurt, not that him getting hurt was a good thing, but we did get a Kevin Owens title run out of it for a good 5-6 months. And him and Jericho were incredibly entertaining during that time frame. So it wasn't all bad. Elite Deadshots. Hope everyone enjoys the rest of the day. See you later. See ya, Joe. We'll see here in a little bit. WWE hates no DQ. John Moxley helps Seth win. Well, that could be interesting. Ken is asking if Noah or did Woods at Austin Creed have a dark look in TNA? I don't pay attention to Impact. Yeah, he was Consequences Creed. He kind of he had the like American tights. He had like the big fro going on. He was a babyface, like Noah just said. Cherry Mark Corbin gets injured. Mahal takes his place and cashes in on both Kofi and Rollins. Biggest WWE plot twist ever. They're not going to make Mahal champion again. Unorthodox man. What if Kofi was the one to turn on the New Day? That would be interesting too. Be like, hey, I made it to this level. It's like, I don't need you guys anymore. It's like, I'm the champion. I'm fighting by myself. I don't need you guys anymore. That could be an interesting look. I think if anybody in the New Day turned that would not interest me, it would be Big E. Everybody wants to see, everybody who's talked about a heel turn, or at least most of the people say that Big E is where the money is and Big E is where the heel turn is. I disagree. I think that's too predictable. That's why I think Woods would be the best one to turn. But Kofi turning on them would also be interesting. And then I guess I would make Big E or Woods the big baby face because Kofi turned on his brothers. So Antonio Jones, Moxley should treat Seth like a stranger. Ambrose should only exist as an extra personality of Moxley. That way the Shield is still canon. Yeah, Moxley should treat Seth like he's never met him. Actually, that kind of lead to some comedic stuff if he actually does resign with WWE. Nobody knows, though. Nobody knows for a fact. Chris Cahill, I was thinking if Woods turns heel, it wouldn't work because of his YouTube channel. When did Up, Up, Down, Down start? Was that... Give me a second. I'm going to take a look. Because it might have started while they were still heel. Let's see here. Got a lot of people retweeting my live stream. Yeah, let me see when Up, Up, Down, Down started because it might have been while he was heel still, but it might have been shortly after he turned babyface. About joined March 18th, 2015. Yeah, they were heels at the time. Or, no, wait a minute. They were still babyfaces. This was actually shortly before they turned heel. So Woods actually started the YouTube channel while they were still the, right before they turned heel. So they were actually heels, starting to become big heels while the channel was still running. So that's not going to affect them at all. So he hasn't been babyface the entire time Up, Up, Down, Down's been around. I figured it was 2015. It was either 2015 or 2016, but yeah, it was definitely 2015. Cherry Mark, who did better, the Nexus or the Shield? It could have been the Nexus if they weren't buried by Cena at SummerSlam in 2010. That completely ruined the entire angle for me. It's like you have these guys who are unstoppable, and then 2 months later you have them get beat down. It's like, no. The Shield did it way better. Austin Creed and Woods would be two different characters. Yeah, if you ever watch Up, Up, Down, Down, which if you don't, you should, because it's way entertaining. Austin Creed is just so hilarious. It's so good. Watch Battle of the Brands from the beginning, and you'll see how incredibly funny Woods is. And him and Breeze just have this back and forth. It's so fantastic. Rick Marone, any idea who's going to be the writers for AEW? Hopefully people who know what wrestling is. Because I see that I've read stories, I don't know how true it is, that WWE wants to hire writers that have no wrestling knowledge whatsoever. It's like, then what are you trying to do? Why would you not want them to have wrestling knowledge? You are running a wrestling show. Call it an entertainment show. Call it whatever you want. But it is primarily a wrestling show. It always drives me nuts. Let's see. If Cena goes to AEW, do you think WWE will panic? I don't think Cena's going to go to AEW. There's no reason for him to. First of all, he has his own career outside of WWE, and he only needs to come back for like a few sporadic appearances. I don't see him going anywhere. If he does, it would be a surprise, but I see Cena being very loyal to WWE. I don't see that happening, that he goes to the competition. All right. So, plug time. Since I'm pretty much caught up with the comments, I know I didn't get them all. Because I was bombarded by super chats. Again, not a terrible thing. But I did get quite a few spins in today. I'm not going to complain about that at all. And it's still available. Wheel Pensen is still available for the duration of the stream. So if you guys know somebody who wants to be entertained by watching me do entrances, or giving away a t-shirt, I still say this is the stream I'm giving away a t-shirt. I want to give away one. If I could speak English, I would want to give one away. I want to give one away so bad. Come on, guys. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Send in those super chats. Let's spin the wheel, Pensen. Let's get a t-shirt sold. That's my goal. Because you guys actually make out pretty well in the deal. If you go to prowrestlingtees.com/PA-sensation, you'll see my lineup of shirts. I only have 4 up there right now. I want to get more sold so I can get more designs in. But you'll see if you go there, for a normal price, it's $20 a piece. So you spend the win. My goodness. Give me a second. Having issues all today. If you spin the wheel of Pensen and you land on a t-shirt for only $10, you save more than half the cost of the actual shirt because I pay the shipping too. So you guys make out very well in that deal if you spend $10 and you get a shirt. Of course, you guys are more about the entrances anyway, which is, I think there are 8 entrance spots on this wheel. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, there's a third of the spots on the wheel are entrances, which is what I've obviously landed on the most. So there's no shortage of entrance spots. So I have no problem doing whatever entrance you guys want. Clearly, I mean, I've done Lacey Evans, I've done Val Venus, and who was the other one I did? Mr. Perfect. So, towels all around here today. So yeah, call your neighbors, call your friends. Nobody calls anymore. Facebook message your friends, send them tweets, retweet my post on Twitter, as a lot of people did, honestly, which is kind of awesome. So yeah, tune in. Have them tune in to the live stream. Say, hey, you can make this guy act like an idiot. And you know, I haven't done karaoke in like a month on this wheel, which is kind of insane. I've done the dance break. I did the Too Cool dance last week. Last week or a couple weeks ago? Might have been a couple weeks ago. I did the Rikishi and Grandmaster Sexay and Scotty 2 Hottie dance. I didn't do the worm because I would have had to do. Ken says, Cherry, do you do superstar impressions? Hey, if tell you what, if I land on Ken, if you send another or if somebody sends another, I can do a Savage impression. I can definitely do a Savage impression. Noah says, all right, I'm out. Enjoy everybody's day and defending my No DQ Predictions Championship against Greg and everybody else. Yes, Noah is the current predictions champion for the No DQ group. Cherry Mark says, I pay for you to do AJ Lee's skipping entrance. Well, send in a $10 super chat and land on entrance, and you got it. See you, Noah. I'll see you back in the chat. And I might do Money in the Bank predictions on my live stream next week. So you guys definitely have to tune in for that. Because Money in the Bank is next week. And I will be doing my I'll be doing my predictions there. See you, Cindy. Glad you were able to join join the stream this week. Cool Brothers Radio Podcast. Spin the wheel, make a deal. It pretty much is. Although this is way better than Halloween Havoc 92. Ken says, Cherry, can you do an impression of being a bad waiter for Noah and his mom? Jeez. Mr. Anderson. Hi, Greg. Hey, Ken. Mr. Anderson. Yeah, if somebody wants to see me do AJ Lee's entrance, I have no problem with that. Or Paige's or any of them. Cherry Mark, if you could date any WWE women, will it be Mandy Rose or Carmella? Well, if I wasn't married, probably Mandy, because Carmella's a Patriots and Red Sox fan. Carmella's beautiful, don't get me wrong, but can't do that if we're going to date. Because I'm a Yankees fan, I'm a Steelers fan, it's not going to work. Antonio Jones, whatever happened to that Noah guy that always said obnoxious stuff on the channel? Oh, the other Noah, not the good Noah. Who knows? He probably doesn't even know that this stream exists. Lucha Libre Gaming Guy, for me, Billy Kay. I mean, Billy Kay is beautiful, as is Peyton Royce. Both the Iconics are. But I was only given the two choices of Mandy and Carmel. So there you go. Get Kinder Mahal on a trivia challenge. They'll tell him about it. What are your thoughts on the Fighting with My Family movie if you've seen it? I thought it was very good. I thought it was very well done. Naturally, me being the wrestling historian that I am, or at least the wrestling trivia master that I am, I was nitpicking some of the things that happened on the show. But for the purposes of telling the story of the movie, I let it go because it was a good movie. It was very well done. Antonio, he sure liked to stir up stuff and talk wrestling. Yeah, we don't talk about that guy here. Greg, what's your favorite WrestleMania moment? Probably Shawn winning the title. That was cool. And also Undertaker Triple H at WrestleMania 28 because I was there. Chris Mace, what is your thoughts on the death of Silver King? I thought it was very tragic. I mean, you never want to see a wrestler. I mean, nobody wants to see anybody die, but you definitely don't want to see it happen during the course of a match. And I didn't get to see a whole lot of Silver King. Obviously, I saw some of his stuff with WCW. And the first thing I thought of when I thought of Silver King was Jericho doing the entrances for all the Cruiserweight Battle Royal participants at Slamboree 1998. If you haven't seen it, Jericho's hilarious because it's Chris Jericho. But that's mostly what I remember him from, which is sad it wasn't from one of his matches because he was a great athlete, but that's immediately what my brain went to. Rick Moran, I don't know how far back you started watching wrestling, but if Magnum TA didn't get in his car accident, could you have seen him go to WWE and be a big star there? Yeah, I mean, Magnum TA was wildly popular in the NWA days. If he didn't get his car accident and he was still able to go, without a doubt, he would have been a huge star. Ken says Jericho was doing parodies of many entrances of the Cruiserweights. Not like I do. He wasn't doing entrances like that. He was doing the ring announcing for them. He told David Penzer that he was an idiot and they didn't know anything about the sport of pro wrestling. And then he did mock introductions of all the Cruiserweights. So it wasn't full-blown entrances. He was just doing the introductions as the Cruiserweights made their way to the ring. Very entertaining. Actually, that whole like Cruiserweight segment for Slamboree 98 was great. Ken says Antonio was he an enhancement talent? No diss to Mr. King. I didn't follow the cruiserweights a whole lot in WCW. I mean, it was a great division, but I don't remember a ton of moments about the cruiserweight division like I probably should. Um, Mr. Anderson, what's your favorite Corbin gimmick? The Lone Wolf or the Applebee's waiter? I did like the Lone Wolf gimmick. Um, I thought he did very well with that, but the hair was getting terrible. Um, so I'm glad he shaved it all off. Cherry, remember when Jericho was reading off his list of 1,004 moves? That was funny. Yes, I do. And that's actually been a question a couple times. Various things surrounding that very list on Trivia Challenge. Classic Jericho moment. So good. All right. Plugs for my channel. No, you're fine, Ken. Plugs for my channel. YouTube.com/Luck of the Draw. You can see the link right here. Also, Streamlabs.com/Luck of the Draw 1. You can go there. You can submit. It's basically the same as a super chat, but you can actually get like a funky graphic on the stream to check out. Ken terminated by Google. Jericho is heavily popular for the wrestling trivia, huh? I'm pretty sure I answered Chris Jericho to at least 5 questions during the Iron Man match, so you tell me. Yeah, Jericho is definitely a good source for wrestling trivia. Anyway, go back to Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/Luck of the Draw 1. If you submit $10 on there, you get a cool graphic that happens to pop up like right here, and then you get your name right up here. So, and then it's there for the duration of the stream to show, hey, this guy donated money. Awesome. And it shows how much you donated. Also, youtube.com/Luck of the Draw. I haven't uploaded any videos there in the last week because I've been lazy. But I do have the next episode of my WrestleMania 2000 ready to go. I just need to get it uploaded. So we'll see how that is. Lucha Libre Gaming Guy, Greg, do you like the movie Ready to Rumble? That's not the first time that's come up this stream, actually. Cool Brothers Radio Podcast. I think you should have both guys face you in a handicap match for the Trivia Challenge Championship. Well, that'd basically be a one-on tag. Actually, it might be preferable to a triple threat. Triple threat actually puts me at a little more of a disadvantage. But hey, whatever. I'm the defending champion. I gotta face all challengers, don't I? Cherry Mark says Greg was the biggest mark for Caval. Funny story about Senshi, Loki, whatever. He was at, there was like this convention I went to. I think it was like Steel City Con years ago. And there was an indie show happening, and Loki was on the show. I don't know if he was part of a match or if he did like a run-in, but he did the Warrior's Way from the top, which is coup de grace for anybody who's not familiar with Loki. The double stomp from the top. And when he did it, he landed on the guy's chest and was like standing on the guy's chest. Like he landed like a perfect dismount or whatever. Landed on the guy's chest and then just stepped off of him. Like that looked more painful than just like getting hit in the chest because he like landed and it was like planted on his chest. It looked brutal, especially only seeing it from like that close away. Mr. Anderson, Greg, how do you feel about the time WWE had Shelton Benjamin's mom managing him? I thought it was funny. I'm glad it didn't last long. I thought it was kind of ridiculous. So yeah, it served its purpose, I guess. Shelton won the Intercontinental title during that time frame, but it wasn't anything like overly like, yay, this happened. It is what it is. Greg, I skipped my date with my girlfriend to watch you stream only because I invited her to Raw this Monday and she flushed the tickets. Well, tell you what, you should get her card up. No, don't do that. That's credit card fraud. I was gonna say you should buy a super chat with her money, but don't do that. I think that's illegal. Um, so don't. I'm not condoning any illegal activities on here. So don't do that. Don't do that at all. But you should have her watch because this will probably be more entertaining than Raw, honestly. And then she can submit the money and watch me do something ridiculous. That's the way I feel about it. All right. Fortunately, I haven't had to. I actually brought like 2 cups of water up here last time because the last time I did entrances, she's a Roman Reigns fan too. It could be worse. I brought up 2 cups of water because the last time I did entrances, I had to do the Ultimate Warriors first, and I could not breathe for like 5-10 minutes afterwards. So there you go. Cherry Stream is better than Raw. Who would have thought? Probably a lot of people. Maybe I should get Raw's audience and they can submit money and watch me do ridiculous entrances. That'd be awesome. I'll get more viewers than Raw. Mr. Anderson, do you think the new wildcard rule should also involve people from NXT and 205 Live? No. I don't care for the new wildcard rule anyway because it kind of defeats the purpose of the brand split. I mean, if this is the way to slowly like dissolve the brand split, it's kind of weak, but I don't know. The whole Vince McMahon making a huge announcement kind of fell flat for me. Didn't care for it. Antonio Jones, smash the like button for this guy. Yes. Send those likes. Send those super chats. Make me do more entrances. I have fun doing them. I really do. Like, if you think I get embarrassed for doing, like, a women's entrance, it's like, I have no problem doing it. I just straight up can't do Melina's. I'm telling you that right now. Vince should kill the brand split. I also can't do Dana Brooks because I cannot do the mid-air cartwheel. So don't expect that one. Ken said, Antonio, I did a dusty elbow on the like button. So did you do his, like... Or did you do the bionic elbow right there on the like button? Here you go, bionic elbow. Ken says, just have Cherry do the Dana Brooke impression. Oops, great. Cherry mentioned it. Yep, I can't do Dana Brooks. Cannot do that one physically. I did the elbow drop like the light was on the canvas. And now your screen shattered. Now you can't see me. No, it's all good. We started off hot, though. We started off hot with, like, quite a few spins. This is a good stream. It definitely is. If you guys enjoy the stream, you guys need to let people know. Every Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, I do this live stream. So I actually do have a consistent time to do them now. Because before I was jumping all over the place just when I had free time to do it. But now I have a set time. And it seems to be working out good. I seem to be getting a decent-sized audience. So... Ken says, I think Riff said you can do female entrances, just not Melina or Dana Brooke / Ashley. Ashley? Like Ashley Massaro? Ashley Massaro's isn't too bad. Yeah, I can do female entrances. That's not a problem. It's just the ones I can't physically do. Mr. Anderson, has there ever been a Paul Heyman girl in the WWE? If not, who should be the first with the girls in WWE today? You should probably pair Heyman with somebody who is a good athlete but can't do well on the mic. And Ken said Rousey, which would probably be good. I mean, Heyman paired with Rousey, even in a similar role to Lesnar, would be okay. So, there you go. But anyway, after this is over, I will be uploading. Okay, I'll go back to that in a match. Greg Cherry, as your biggest fan, we shall challenge Rowan and Brian at SummerSlam. I asked him in messages on Twitter, and he's all right with the idea. He also called you a soulless slob. Hey, if Rowan and Brian want to face me at SummerSlam, that'll be fine, and I'll just eat a hamburger in their face and taunt them, and then throw the wrapper right at their feet and litter right in front of them. That'll get them going. Ken says, "Sorry, Cherry. I'm so used to calling certain performers by their real name. Like I call Sasha Banks Mercedes. I like Mercedes' real name than Sasha Banks. Well, I don't like to call them by their real names. Cherry Mark, at least he didn't call Cherry a Soulless Senpai because that's Becky Lynch's name on Up, Down, Down. Yeah, that's true. I don't call wrestlers by their real names. Like, I don't even call Corey Graves by his real name. I don't call him Matt. I call him Sterling because that's how I knew him. Like, I didn't personally know him as Matt, but I knew him as Sterling because he was my trainer. So that's how I refer to him. I still do call him Corey Graves eventually, but it's more comfortable for me to call him Sterling. It's just the way it is. Ken says, kind of like how sometimes I call Hogan Terry. I don't use their shoot names because I don't know them personally. That's my opinion. Mr. Anderson, I think Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper versus Daniel and Rowan in the SummerSlam for the tag titles, then have Rowan turn on Daniel. What do you think? Well, Bray Wyatt's not doing the Wyatt family gimmick anymore, which is probably for the best because that kind of ran its course. And I don't know if Harper's ever going to be used on TV. So the Wyatt family doesn't need to be a thing anymore. They need to move on from that. Cherry Mark says Greg versus Lars Sullivan in a WrestleMania 36 Dream match. Hey, if I work a match at Mania, I am not going to complain. Even if it's against Lars, I'll be fine. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Daniel Bryan and Rowan being the tag team champions. I think it'll work for them. Who had a better WWF title run, Sid in 96 or Diesel in 95? Well, Sid's run in 96 technically lasted from Survivor Series to the Rumble, and then from the Raw after In Your House to WrestleMania. So he didn't have a long run either time. Chad Gable imitating other wrestlers like Damian Sandow every week on Raw. That would be fine. Cherry Mark, I can see Greg Cherry doing a diving headbutt on Lars. Diving headbutt is not in my repertoire. 450 maybe, not a diving headbutt. Or Phoenix Splash, either one. I think Chad Gable as doing like a Charlie Haas gimmick. Like Damian Sandow was just kind of goofy, but Charlie Haas like legit did impressions of superstars, and he did very well for him. I think Chad Gable could do that too, and they give him something to do. Mr. Anderson says he's heard rumors about Lars and Kofi Kingston. I doubt it. No way Jose is the best wrestler in the world. I don't know what world you're living in, but probably not. All right, so back to my talk about my YouTube channel. I do have a WrestleMania 2000 episode to upload. I do have, and I've said this the last couple live streams, I've just been so tied up with other stuff I haven't got to do it. I have more sarcastic commentary episodes to upload. So if you want to check those out, go to www.youtube.com or just search the Penn Said Greg Cherry, which is my channel name. Heck, I'll even put a comment in here. This is the channel I'm talking about. So, that's my channel name, the Penzen Greg Cherry. You go there, you go subscribe there. And if you subscribe during the course of this live stream, you'll get a fancy graphic popping up too to let you know. I have a bunch of stuff over there. I'm looking to get more content on there. Actually, Jeff and I are starting something. It's basically like a watch along. We're going to watch live shows. Well, not live shows, but we're going to watch full pay-per-view events at the same time, and we're going to react to them accordingly. So that's coming to the channel soon. It's going to be once a week. You guys will vote on which pay-per-views we watch. Currently, right now, Jeff has a poll up on his Twitter at _Jeff Meacham. And the current leader right now is the 2001 Invasion pay-per-view, which is fine. I think there's like a Super Brawl, maybe not a Super Brawl, but a Clash of the Champions in there as well. An ECW pay-per-view in there as well. So go to his Twitter and go vote for that. And if you want us to see Invasion, which I think is still in the lead, then go ahead and do that. Go ahead and vote for Invasion. And that's what we'll be watching on Friday. So look out for the channel on Friday. Jeff's and my reaction to whatever pay-per-view is voted into there. And currently, it looks like the Invasion pay-per-view is what's on tap. So that's okay. Invasion wasn't a terrible pay-per-view. I'm looking forward to watching the Jeff Hardy Rob Van Dam hardcore title match, which was probably the best match on that card. So that one should be interesting. Mr. Anderson, Greg Cherry for Cruiserweight Champion. Book it, Vince. I'm not in the weight class. I am not in the weight class. I'm about 35 pounds off from there. Sal Ali says he just subscribed to it. Well, I appreciate that. And you should get a graphic up here any minute. Cherry Mark, Kenny Omega versus Virtue, Rift versus Sami Zayn, TJS versus Bray Wyatt, Meacham versus Goldberg, confirmed matches for Saudi Arabia. Ken says, is it true that Taker is facing Goldberg in Saudi Arabia? I have not heard that report. But you know what? That match has never happened. So it very well could. They might give away the Sting versus Taker match in Saudi Arabia, like one of these future pay-per-views for all I know. But we'll see what happens. No matches have been announced for that Saudi Arabia show. Sands of Time, I think, is what they're going with. But, yeah. But anyway, there's sarcastic commentary episodes out there. There's going to be the watch along. There's going to be my WrestleMania 2000 videos. And also, my game show, Luck of the Draw, is also on there. So, I mean, that would be... It's worth checking out. I'm doing another game here in the next month. I want to get a game like with the No DQ people. I do have a couple people from the No DQ channel who want to play, but we'll see if that does happen. Hopefully it'll happen in the next few weeks here, but I want to play a game, and I'll probably put it on the No DQ channel just so you guys see what it is, and if you guys like it and want to play the game more, I'll put the other ones on my channel, because the No DQ channel makes sense for the No DQ game because we're all No DQ personalities. So there you go. WWE using Prince of Persia references. I don't know if it is called Sands of Time. That's just a rumor that I've heard. It's not official. Sal Ali, if we had the unified U.S. and Intercontinental titles, who should hold the title, Drew or Joe? Well, Joe's U.S. champion right now. Finn is Intercontinental champion. I don't think they should unify the titles. There's no need. The Intercontinental and the U.S. titles are fine. Mr. Anderson, do you think WWE will ever do Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins in an intergender match? They're doing that off camera. Oh. Mr. Anderson, you should face Becky Lynch. You should be the man. Mr. Anderson, I would love to wrestle Becky Ken. Oh my. Greg, would you love to see Paige versus Mandy Rose in a Bra and Panties Iron Man match? What exactly would that consist of? Once you rip off the bra and panties, you win the fall, and then you have to put the clothes back on. It's a little weird. Mr. Anderson, yeah, I wonder why you wrestled Miss Sola Senpai. Oh my, you guys. Going way off track for this one. But anyway, now you guys have seen, I still want to give away a shirt this stream. I've done pretty well so far as getting the spins, but there are 3 spots on here that have the t-shirt on them. I want to give away a shirt. I want to. I definitely want to give away a shirt. So if you guys know somebody, who would like a Greg Cherry shirt, if you know somebody who would like a Greg Cherry shirt, and you go to ProWrestlingTees.com/PA Sensation. I need to plug the Sonic one since the Sonic the Hedgehog movie is coming out. The Sensation Greg Cherry shirt. Sensation is in the Sonic font, which everybody should check out. Ken, I would love a Cherry shirt. I know, but you did have your spin, but who's saying you only have to have one, Ken? There's no limit. Like, once you send a super chat, you can send more, you know. Yeah, there's no limit to the amount of super chats you can submit whatsoever. So if you want to send $10 in a super chat, get a spin on the wheel, pen send, make me do an entrance, make me sing a song, make me do a dance, or you win a shirt. Now, I did hit a bankrupt today, but fortunately, that was on somebody who paid for multiple spins. So they did hit bankrupt, but they still got something out of it. Wow, you guys are way off course. That's kind of why I'm not talking about the comments. Ken said that's like seeing Greg Cherry doing a Melina split. I can't. I will tear something if I try that. Jinder says he would like to see Bo Dallas versus Ricochet in a Trading Places match. Oh, so. Trading Places match. So Bo Dallas has to put on like a bald cap or something and do Ricochet's whole entrance. I could probably do wow, Mr. Anderson. I could probably do both Ricochet's and Bo Dallas's entrances too, since you brought that up. There's no limit to the entrances I can do. Ken Terminated by Google. That Trading Places match with Regal and Goldust was pretty entertaining. Regal sure doesn't mind humiliating himself. Regal's a great entertainer. Yeah, he absolutely is. It was just his birthday this week. Whoops. What did I do? All right. So I talked about. Oh my. Mr. Anderson, you should see Mandy Sonia's channel on YouTube. I think it's called Demandy. I could be wrong. I think they have like a donut company, don't they? Like Demandy's Donuts. Is that like a real thing? Or is that just like an episode? No, it's just like a series where they just eat donuts. Okay. Okay. Weird. All right. Yeah, they don't run a donuts company, but they search for the best glazed donuts and they eat them. So they must work it off very well. That's the dream, though. Finding the best donuts. Oh, I want a donut. Greg, if I was stranded and could have two people for company, it'd be you and Mandy Rose. Well, I appreciate that. And then you'd have Corey Graves saying, "Shut up, Phillips," just as like an announcement overhead. Ken says, "That's weird. I would stay away from donuts if I want to stay in great physique." I'm not in great physique. I'm trying to get better. Actually, I spent a little time with my nephew jumping around on a trampoline, and I realized how wildly out of shape I am. As if the Warrior entrance last week didn't tell you that. But I actually, funny story from that. Jinder says so it would be Bo Dallas dressed up as Bo Dallas and Bo Leave gimmick. I would probably have to do the Bo Leave entrance. If that's what you're referring to. But yesterday I was on the trampoline. I just did a test to see if I could sell the stunner like The Rock, and I totally could. I'm Rick Rude compared to you. Okay. You probably are, actually. Mr. Anderson, do you think we will ever see Mayor Kane gimmick in WWE? Probably not. Probably not. You got a better wrestling mind than mine, that's for sure. I wouldn't be champion for 428 days if I didn't. CM Punk's reign is going to be passed next Sunday. And then I'll head for who's next? Brock? Brock's Universal title reign? I want to get to 500. I don't know. Depending on when the tournament happens, I might anyway, but it might like just happen right before. So, like, I think Brock is next, and then Pete Dunne is after that. And then I think I gotta go for Bruno. And then probably Moolah. Once I pass Moolah, I'll be 60 years old and probably still doing YouTube stuff. But that's another story for another time. If we're still doing Wrestling Trivia Challenge in 30 years and I'm still champion, I think it will be obvious I watch too much wrestling. As if it isn't now. So, what else do we got on here? You know, I actually hit, last week, I did hit Truth Time for one, but the Truth Time was passed up on an entrance. I think I'm willing to give up a spin of the wheel for anything on here except for a t-shirt. Like, if you want to win a t-shirt, you actually have to land on t-shirt. But if you land on something else and you want something else on the wheel, if you want an entrance, that's perfectly fine. I think that's fair. Like, you get the spin, and it's like, hey, if you don't want that, you can have anything else on the wheel except for a t-shirt. Because you have to land on t-shirt to get a t-shirt. So if you guys submit $10 and you land on something and you don't want that, and you want like an entrance instead, maybe I should do that. What do you guys think? Lucha Libre Gaming Guy. Greg, what are some of your favorite hard rock heavy metal related bands, if you don't mind me asking? Let me see. I do like, as far as like rock bands, I like Breaking Benjamin, Pennsylvania band. So there you go. I like Tantric's older stuff. I need to listen to some of their newer stuff because I did listen to their album on Amazon Music not too long ago. Seven Dust is good. I like them. Alter Bridge, I don't know when the last album they put out was, though. Didn't care for their third album. Their first two were good, though. Ken says Breaking Benjamin is the shit. I tell you what, Dark Before Dawn is probably my favorite complete album ever. Like, that album is so good from beginning to end. I haven't found one that matched it. And, like, I was a big Beatles fan growing up, too. But there were some songs on the Beatles album I was like, okay, well, this is all right. Like, this is good, but it's not like... But, like, the Breaking Benjamin album, I think, start to finish, Dark Before Dawn, fantastic. Ken says, Alter Bridge, isn't that the band who did a theme for a certain Hall of Famer? Yes. Yes, they did the theme for Edge. Yes, Alter Bridge came out with the theme for Edge. They also provide the theme song to the 2005 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. And I think maybe like a couple other WWE things too. But those are the ones that stand out the most to me. But Alter Bridge is definitely good. It was like Creed with a different lead singer, which made it far better. Not that Scott Stapp was terrible, but yes, Alter Bridge did make it. They did a great job. Michael Gonzalez, who had the better career, Edge or Orton? Well, it's hard to say because Orton's still going. If they were both retired, it would be one thing, but like Orton could still have like amazing stuff happen. Everybody still pops, even to this day when he hits the RKO. Mr. Anderson, what's your favorite wrestling game? Mine is No Mercy on the N64. Did I put all my N64 wrestling games away? Hold on. I might have a picture of like all the games I played. Yep, right here. If you guys can see this on my screen, let me see. You see those? Where's that like? I don't know how close I need to get. There we go. It's a collection of all my wrestling games that I have for the N64. And No Mercy's right there. There we go. And at some point, I'm playing through WrestleMania 2000 right now, like I said, for my YouTube channel. I do want to plan for... I might do a Backstage Assault one, too, just because I know that game is terrible. I knew I had it, too, but... yeah. Lucha Libre Gaming Guy, you like Linkin Park or no? I do like Linkin Park, some of their stuff. I do not care for Shadow of the Day at all. Not a fan. But they do have some good music. I don't know about you, but I miss the punt kick. I guess Vince finds it to be dangerous looking, like the formerly dangerous looking curb stomp. I miss the punt too. Nobody's ever kicked out of it. Lucha Libre Guy, do I like Slipknot? I don't listen to a lot of Slipknot, personally. It's not that I have anything against them. It's just not one of the ones I seek out to listen to. I have been listening to a lot of Stone Sour lately, though. Like, Stone Sour is just... Like, I didn't realize how much good music they had. It's mostly Bother and Through Glass that I've been listening to. But they're both incredible songs. Michael Gonzalez, I always thought if someone should pass Flair in title reigns, it would be Orton. He still could. He's still going. Is Orton in his 40s yet? Let's see, he won the heavyweight title at 24. No, he's still in his 30s. Orton is still in his 30s. He'll turn 40 next year, though. But, yeah, Orton's still got a lot of gas in the tank. He may very well pass Flair. Lucha Libre Gaming Guy. You heard of Limp Bizkit, Greg? Of course I've heard of Limp Bizkit. I mean, they provide Rollin', they provided the WrestleMania 19 theme, Crack Addict. Of course I've heard of Limp Bizkit. And of course My Way, which provide one of the most fantastic video packages in WWE history. The theme of WrestleMania 17. Yep, Crack Addict. I'm a crack addict. That's right, I'm a crack addict. I'm addicted to crack skulls. Anyway, I wasn't even going to try to sing it. Unless, of course, that lands on karaoke. I may try and do a Limp Bizkit one. I'm surprised that Limp Bizkit is not in the Hall of Fame, but Kid Rock is. Well, Kid Rock did do a few things with WWE before Limp Bizkit did. You figure Kid Rock had American Badass before Limp Bizkit came out with Rollin'. So there you go. And maybe it's one of the things where they don't think that Fred Durst can be PG. I don't know. That's very possible. Yeah, maybe if I hate karaoke, I'll sing a Limp Bizkit song. If somebody gives me a super chat, I land on karaoke. Maybe I'll do that. What are your thoughts on Kalisto, Greg? And I think, do you mean Flo Rida? Sure, Kid Rock did themes for a certain dead man, but I think Limp Bizkit should go in the Hall of Fame before him. Kid Rock was also at WrestleMania 25, for those that remember. He played songs, and then the women walked down to the ring, and before the Miss WrestleMania Battle Royal, one of the biggest clusters in WrestleMania history. What are your thoughts on the band Fear Factory, if you've heard of them before? I've heard of them. I cannot think of some of their songs off the top of my head. I have heard them before. Oh, wait, they did a version of Cars, didn't they? Like the 80s song from Gary Newman? They did a version of Cars, didn't they? I've heard that one before. That was pretty good. Kid Rock had a WWE Desire video from back in the day, if anyone remembers. Yes, that's actually one of my karaoke songs, is the Kid Rock song, Lonely Road of Faith. I do have that. I do have that as a karaoke option. Because that's a good one. Yeah, I remember that one. That was from like 2002, 2001, 2002 time frame. But yeah, definitely a good one. Talking about all these songs and all these different bands, it's like, man, now I want to hit karaoke. I want to do a karaoke song now. Even though I'm not that great a singer, I still want to do one. I didn't answer what I thought of Kalisto. I like Kalisto. I thought he was better off when he was either on his own or when he was with Sin Cara. Lucha House Party is like kind of cringy. Not that they're bad athletes either. It's just like the whole gimmick I don't care for. Maybe it's just me. Ugh, all right. So what are we doing? Felt like I haven't done an entrance in forever. Ken says Kalisto's a good performer, but should stay away from the Lucha House Party. Yeah. I don't know. When he's by himself, it's fine. I mean, crying out loud, he was a 2-time U.S. champion. Beating Del Rio both times. So there you go. So, I still want this to be, Ken, we were waiting for another spin cherry. That's what we were doing. You and me both. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the wheel. Get some people in here. Tell your people on Twitter. Copy the link to this. There's a share button right below the video. Share the video, put it on your Twitter, be like, hey, this guy does entertaining wrestling entrances. This guy can sing songs, this guy can dance, and you could even win a free shirt. Well, not a free shirt, because you pay $10 for the super chat. But you can win a shirt from his Pro Wrestling Tees store. So, there you go. Meek Man, aka Atlanta, Spain. How you doing? Just chilling and enjoying lunch. Yeah, we're waiting for, we're kind of waiting for another spin because I've done a few entrances so far. But it's my goal this stream. It's my goal this stream to give away a shirt. I want to do it. I want to give away a shirt. Yes, Ken says you missed Gray's super chats earlier. I did the entrances of Lacey Evans. I did the entrance of Val Venus and Mr. Perfect. All those entrances happened. So if you want to send in $10 with a super chat, you can get a spin of the wheel pence in. You can get an entrance. Kalisto's U.S. title run 2015-2016 is underrated. I remember Aaron hated it. Yeah, I mean, Kalisto beat Ryback a few times, like clean. And then he lost it to Rusev. Which I'm trying to remember who Rusev lost the title to. Kalisto was okay as U.S. champion. I just remember his WrestleMania 32 match against Ryback, which like opened the show, like opened the pre-show, and the audience, there was like a quarter of the audience in there for that. So yeah, but anyway, I was going back. I was on my entrances, the ones I did. Lacey Evans, Mr. Perfect, and Val Venus. I did all of those. Unique Man's. Ken says Anderson is like saying me being a WTC champion. Yeah, Kalisto's not going to beat anybody for the Universal title. Plus, he's on 205 Live, so he's not really on Raw or SmackDown. And let's face it, is anybody going to be the WTC champion besides me? Yeah, so there you go. We're just waiting for somebody to send in a $10 super chat for me to do either another entrance or tell a story or give you the honest truth about a personal question. Landed on Truth Time once last week, but it was passed up. Ken says, I tried to study the Spotify no DQ questions. It's tough because it takes memorization. Yeah, it does. And there's a lot of themes over the course of how long the WWE's been operating. So it's a lot to take in. But it's just stuff you got to study. The only things you can really study are the Spotify questions and the no DQ questions. And quite frankly, it is tough because it's a lot of information to study. But at the same time, the other stuff is you know it or you don't. It's recall from information from wrestling. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see what happens. I still need to start writing the questions for the tournament, but we also need people to start submitting their information for the tournament. So if Jeff doesn't make the announcement in the next couple days, I'll have to do it myself to like officially announce it, because I know I've announced it a couple times, on the stream. This last week, Aaron did, and then I announced it again this week. And we mentioned it again on Aaron's New to Q stream yesterday. Hey, Marshall, how you doing? You missed some good super chats earlier if you are just joining us. Ken says, speaking of Kingston's old school entrance, Cherry. Every time you do that, I think you're going to send in another super chat and be like, hey, I want you to do Kofi's old school entrance. Every time you like set me up for something, I always expect like a super chat to follow and be like, hey, spin the wheel and do Kofi's old school entrance or something like that. Marshall says, great, you're at work, sir. Hey, it's not a problem. You got to work to pay the bills. And also, if you want to see me do funny stuff, that's how you do it. If someone requested Kingston's old school entrance, how would you do the boom boom pyro? Well, I wouldn't do the pyro, obviously. I don't have that big a budget. I hope Kofi drops the belt to KO. He might. He might drop the belt to Owens. If Kofi would have went SOS at WrestleMania, it would have been so epic. Yeah, but he's part of the New Day, so there you go. Obviously, any pyro wouldn't work. If there was an entrance that required like different lighting, though, I probably could have changed the lighting for Val Venus's entrance. I didn't. If you had to pick between Mr. Kennedy or John Morrison to build a company around, who would you choose and why? This might be a surprising pick, but I'd pick Kennedy. I've always liked him. I've always thought he was entertaining. He was always a great worker on the mic. And I think I would choose him. Would I have John Morrison be a part of it? Sure. Absolutely. I would always like to have him work because he's a great worker, he's a great entertainer, and he's a great personality. So, absolutely. Neek Band says, I'm not the biggest fan of New Day or Bootios. Bootios are delicious. I wish I had some more. It's expensive as crap, but delicious. Travis actually, it was funny because Travis and I got each other Christmas gifts this last Christmas, and we each got each other a box of Bootios. It was pretty funny. And then, like, his girlfriend actually bought him like 2 boxes. So it was definitely good. We enjoyed the Bootio cereal, and it was good cereal too. I'm not gonna knock it. Ken says, "Sorry, who's Travis? You don't watch Cherry versus Neri, man? Come on, Ken, you're better than that." Which actually, Fame and I need to get together and do another Cherry versus Neri. Yeah, we need probably sometime this week, actually. Or I'll get them up here for a stream. One of those things. Because Travis and I could probably both do the wheel Pensa. Mr. Anderson, would you do Chuck and Billy's entrance? I would, if you wanted me to. Marshall Iron, it depends on the bosses. I've had male bosses tough on me. Yeah, I get it. It makes sense. But Mr. Anderson, to answer your question, if you send in a super chat and you landed on entrance, I would do Chuck and Billy's entrance. Not a problem. I even have a robe, too. Like, to do the full entrance in. So if you do that, I'll get the robe and we'll do that. Can you remember he pinned like 7 world champs? I thought the sky was the limit for him back in 2005 time. He was a former 2-time TNA heavyweight champion. And he just had horrible timing with injuries. Horrible. If he would not have been injured in 2007, he would have been world heavyweight champion. He would have been the one to beat Taker in Pittsburgh and not Edge. Would you do Ric Flair's full entrance? Absolutely. I definitely would. Any entrance you request, I will do. Exceptions are Melina and Dana Brooke, because I physically cannot do theirs. Any other entrances, fair game, though. Horrible faction. Nexus or Aces and Eights? Aces and Eights, it almost seemed like later years of NWO. Have a smoke and relax. I popped huge when he interrupted Regal in '08. Huge face pop. I've always liked Kennedy. And when I got to meet him, I wish I had the picture like ready to pull up. I wish I had the picture ready to pull up. It's somewhere on here. It might be on my wife's Facebook. But while I'm looking for it, I'll tell the story. I got to meet him. I even got to tell him that I enjoyed his movie, which is true. The WWE movie that he was in. Where the heck are your photos, Jim? I don't know where my wife's photos are. That's weird. Oh, there they are. I got to meet him, and he was a good dude. Absolutely a good dude. Let me see. I got to wear Steamboat's Hall of Fame ring. Yes, definitely this one. I was definitely popped for this one. Me and Mr. Anderson, if you can see it. It's the horrible lighting on this too. Maybe I need to turn on the brightness. But whoops, that doesn't tell you anything. There you go. Me and Mr. Anderson. There's also, from that same show, at that same show, I got to meet the then Raw Tag Team Champions, the Hardys, because they had just come off of WrestleMania that week. So that was pretty cool. And also, myself and the legendary Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And I'm actually wearing his Hall of Fame ring, which is pretty freaking awesome. Because I'll probably never get to wear a real one in real life unless the trivia thing becomes a thing. I did get to meet Mr. Anderson. He was a good dude. He was very, very entertaining in the match he did. I don't know. You were doing a friggin' paid for thing. It was a meet and greet. Yep. Ryback was also there, but I'm pretty sure Noe's like, okay, Ryback, whatever. I wish I would have got to meet Sting at this last one. I didn't have a chance to go. I don't remember what we were doing, but we were busy that weekend. I think we were babysitting or something, and I couldn't go up to meet Sting, but it's okay. Maybe in the future. But yeah, that was definitely a fun show. Greatest faction in history. Marshall's asking DX or Evolution. And then greatest pro wrestler of all time, Triple H or Shawn Michaels. I'm always going to say HBK for the greatest pro wrestler. Yeah, Triple H had more titles, but Shawn was always the better in-ring performer. And as far as DX or Evolution, that one's tough because they were both... they both did very well, and even after dissolving, still did great for all the careers of everybody involved. Mr. Anderson, the Hardys tried deleting you. They did not. I was not deleted. But it was wonderful to meet them. Yes. Have a smoke and relax. Not sure if you guys talked about this, but who you think Goldberg's facing in Saudi Arabia? I don't know. I don't know if they want to put him up against Brock again or if they're going to give him somebody else to just squash. I'm sure that'll become more apparent closer to the date. But next week is Money in the Bank. And then the Sands of Time show is, I believe, June 7th. So they still got a couple weeks to talk about that one. Which I'm sure will be booed on air because they're going back to Saudi Arabia. But they have a 10-year deal there. So everybody's just going to have... Nobody's going to be surprised. Like, hey, this is... Everybody knows they have a 10-year deal there. They're going to do a couple shows a year. So... Ken says he heard it's Taker. I have not heard who it is, but if it's Goldberg and Taker, that should be an interesting one. So, have him smoking real ass. I'm thinking they'll have him squash Rusev or something. At the rate they're going, they might have him squash the Revival. But anyway, still got a little more time here. I still want to give away. We gotta get one more super chat in here, at least. We gotta get one more super chat in here. I want to spin the wheel. I want to give away a shirt. That's the goal. I mean, they were coming in hot and heavy once I first started the stream, so it was pretty awesome. Goldberg versus Taker should have happened in 2003 instead of The Rock versus Goldberg in Backlash 2003. Well, if Goldberg wasn't on Raw, it probably could have happened. Maybe Taker and Goldberg could have a decent 5-minute match or something. Possibly. You figure Goldberg and Lesnar at WrestleMania was only like 5 minutes long, but it was still better than the WrestleMania 20 match. But anyway, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell them to get in here to watch this stream. Where's the spot? Not right there. Spot right here. Spot right here. Spot right here. I want to give one of these away. Mr. Anderson, has Goldberg versus Triple H happened? It has, a couple times, for the World Heavyweight title. Goldberg actually beat Triple H for the World Heavyweight title, Unforgiven 2003. There you go. I want to do another spin, guys. Tell you what, maybe I should do something at the end of my streams every week. I still want to give away a shirt. I still want to give away another shirt, but maybe at the end of my stream, I'll do something like this. I think that I should give you guys a wrestling trivia question. And the first person I see respond to it with a correct answer gets a spin. For sure, Greg, your stream is a filler and it sucks hard. Oh, I appreciate that. Lucha Libre Gaming Guy, how tall are you? About 5'10". Yeah, I think that's only fair, because I'd like to give away a shirt. Granted, you have more opportunities to get it if you send in the super chats, but I could always do one spin at the end. Someone else donate $10 for me and $10 for themselves, and we get a spin apiece. Hey, if that's how you want to split it up, go for it. I have no complaints. Have a smoke and relax. I just want to answer some. Just want to answer some trivia questions. Well, that's going to come closer to the end of the stream. Maybe like 5:45. And then if you land on entrance, you get any entrance you want. If you land on truth time, you get anything. He missed all the entrances earlier. He's just joining it now when the super chat area is not as prevalent as it was at the beginning. But I do like Marshall's idea of somebody else donating $10 for me and $10 for themselves, which is $20. Somebody sends $20, they get 2 spins. There you go. You get any entrance you want. Paid actions make streams on YouTube similar to... Okay. Hey, Farsher, you like commenting on this? There you go. And now he's been blocked. Mr. Anderson, Truth Time. Didn't know you were friends with R-Truth. Actually, I did get to meet him at WrestleMania 28 Access. So that was pretty cool. Ken says maybe it's Bliss time for Cherry. I can do Alexa Bliss's entrance too. Absolutely can. We'll see here. I mean, everybody has a shot. Everybody has more of a shot to get a spin if they donate the super chat. But the wrestling trivia thing, I think it'll be a. Did you taste this spider stew? No, he hates spiders. Remember? Have a smoke and relax. Just posted the link on my Twitter. Hopefully, I can get some folk in. Well, I appreciate that. Anybody sharing the link, I definitely appreciate more viewers. Paige should wear an orange leotard. Why orange? Marshall Leonard, hey, I'm trying to get someone to do it. Somebody gets 2 spins, I get a spin, and somebody else does. I appreciate that, Marshall. If Farsher is still commentating, I'm not. I blocked him, so I can't see him. Yeah, if somebody wants to take Marshall up on his deal, do it. I'm not gonna complain. Neek Man says, "What do you all think of Lars Sullivan?" Lars, I don't know yet. He needs to actually compete in a match rather than just attacking people. He's been doing it for over a month now. He needs to actually get in the ring and face somebody. And I don't mean in a squash match. He needs to have like a big match against somebody who can go. Maybe he goes over, maybe he doesn't, but he needs to actually be in ring. He's been part of a 5-star match before. Granted, it was the 6-man ladder match at NXT TakeOver, but he was still a part of that, and he was a big factor in it. Michael Gonzalez, favorite rivalry from Ruthless Aggression era. My favorite was Edge versus Taker versus Batista, 2007 to 2009. I mean, Cena and Edge was good too. Cena and Edge was a solid rivalry from pretty much all of 2006. And that continued on years later through 2009 too. I'm pretty sure Edge ended up winning that rivalry overall. Because I think Cena hit his last one-on-one match versus Cena, he beat him for the World Heavyweight title. So I declare Edge the winner of that rivalry. Mr. Anderson, Lars Sullivan needs some competition against Apollo Crews. I feel bad for Apollo Crews. He never got a fair shake on the main roster. He's a great athlete, but he needs something to I think Apollo Crews needs like a heel turn or something. He needs something in his personality to stand out and become different. Taker versus Batista is better. Taker versus Batista is good. Don't get me wrong. I just enjoyed Cena and Edge's personal rivalry more. But also, Jericho and HBK. I mean, that might be a little post that era, but that's just my personal opinion. Apollo Crews is a very good performer. Him and Lashley are boring without talking. I feel bad for so many people crapping on Lashley too. It's like Lashley is a very good athlete. He's good at what he does. Maybe keep him away from the mic, and maybe find somebody else who won't get themselves in as much garbage as Leah Rush did. Brian Legaretta, what do you think is the biggest problem in general as to why ratings are at an all-time worst? Storylines show too long. How do you fix the ratings? You get writers that know what the hell wrestling is. That's what you do. Or you don't script as much stuff. The stuff they're doing with the Usos and the Revival are ridiculous for 2 superbly talented tag teams. It's not entertaining. Like, I watched the stuff back, it's like, I mean, maybe it's entertaining to somebody, but it wasn't entertaining to me. I'd highly recommend checking out Benoit and Regal from the Great American Bash in '06. It's the classic. Sure, yeah, but when Lashley came back, you didn't get a lukewarm or bored feeling. I didn't. I like Lashley. I thought he could have been something special too. Like his last match in WWE prior to him leaving was against Mr. Kennedy, and got like a shoulder injury, and they left the company shortly after. I've always liked Lashley. I just think he needs somebody to cut promos for him. He was always a great in-ring athlete. Never had a problem with him. Ken says their match at No Mercy in 2006 is better. When Benoit came back. And then in one of those matches, at least one of them, Benoit chopped the top of Regal's head. And I'm not sure who that would have hurt worse. But I do remember that. It was a rough spot. Lesnar versus Hogan versus a 7-man elimination chamber would have been awesome at SummerSlam. Lesnar, Hogan, Triple H, HBK, Taker, Stone Cold, and Goldberg. Well, Stone Cold was done wrestling at that point. But the other 6 probably would have been fun. The match was very similar to the Brian Pillman Memorial Show match they had. Marshall, I don't think Hogan would fit in the chamber match. We've seen some surprising people in an elimination chamber match. Hogan might have done well. He probably wouldn't have lasted too long, or taken any like bumps on the steel. But well, maybe now because I think there's padding now, which is weird. WWE has 2 baby faces feuding on Raw, and then AJ goes to SmackDown and goes back and forth on the mic with Kofi. If I was a casual fan, I'd be super confused. If I was a casual fan, I'd be super confused too. I still think with AJ and Rollins, somebody's going to turn. I don't know who it is, but there's going to be something that happens in that match because it's not just going to be babyface versus babyface and nothing comes out of it. I don't think it was. Have a smoke and relax. As Santino was in the chamber once, anything could happen, and he almost won the damn thing. You remember the final 2 was Santino and Daniel Bryan, and Santino hit the Cobra. And I'll admit I did pop hard for him hitting the Cobra and almost getting the win. And then I met Santino a month later, and he was a giant douche. So, hey, nobody's perfect. If anybody's a casual fan of Santino, almost won the Rumble too. Yeah, in 2011, he was one of the final 2 along with Del Rio, and he almost won that too. I saw an interview from Hogan a few months ago saying he was supposed to fight Cena at 25, but it was canceled because he needed back surgery. Is there any truth to that? I don't know what I believe from Hogan, honestly. He tells a lot of stories. Marshall says AJ turns heel and joins the club again. That would be fine. The Good Brothers and AJ are a good team. WWE sucks at making top credible babyface superstars. I don't know about that. I think they have a problem with making top credible main eventers, not just babyfaces. You figure that they build around like 2 or 3 people, and then like that's why I like the Attitude Era, because there were so many people. Like if somebody got a WWE title shot, you wanted to see them win, and even if they didn't, they looked good against the champion. I have a smoke and relax. Santino was a prick to me. Was like I remember I was on his one like YouTube show. I was actually wearing his shirt, and he took pictures with everybody except me. So he was kind of a douche. Warhawk Rambo. WWE needs to fire most of their writers and hire ones who get wrestling. I've been saying this all along. Get people who know wrestling to write a wrestling show. And don't script promos. Let them come naturally. If you want to get people invested, you need better writers to make things either sound legitimate or like have true emotion play a factor into it. If you script things robotically, people can see that. Just my opinion. If you script things to a point where it blurs the lines between what's real and what's not, that's a good writer. But have a smoke and relax. Imagine Heyman, head writer for SmackDown Live on Fox. If Heyman wrote the shows, heck, even if I wrote the shows, as Mr. Anderson says, which I need to apply for that job if it's still posted. The only problem is I don't have the TV experience that they want. But if they want somebody to learn on the go, then I'm perfectly fine with that. I'll never. I know I've said some things about WWE in the past, but I don't bash it to the point where it would put me in a spot where I ever tried to apply for that. It'd be like, hey, you said this about us. It'd be like, you know what? I want to see it be better. It's like I want the best for this company. This company has provided me entertainment for 20-some plus years. I want to see it succeed. That's all I want. It's not criticism to criticize. It's criticism to see something I'm passionate about become better. Marshall Leonard says WWE should take us back to the Attitude Era with Attitude Era-esque storylines and have a Hardcore Championship or 24/7 title similar to the Hardcore title. Yes. Yes. Maybe not like the full sex appeal of the Attitude Era, because I think that era's past and would do very poorly in this day and age. But the storylines in the Attitude Era plus the Hardcore Championship, I would want to see those return because those were fun. A 24/7 title, I think, is entertaining television because with that, the unpredictability is at an all-time high. Because you can have anybody come in and win it, and it would be fine. Mr. Anderson, I think WWE should just have one set of tag team championship belts. What are your thoughts? Well, they have the Raw's... My goodness. I'm on the struggle bus today. They have the Raw tag team titles, the SmackDown tag team titles, the women's tag team titles, and the NXT tag team titles. Main roster, men's-wise, I think they should only have one set of tag team titles. Eddie, you're right. Society nowadays wouldn't be able to handle the Attitude Era. Too many social justice warriors these days. Yeah, that if they went back and watched 20 years ago stuff, they wouldn't be able to handle it. They boycott WWE and be like, look at all this stuff you used to put. It's like, shut up. You have to realize, all these social justice warriors, and this is just a mini rant, they have to realize the time that things were happening. And they don't take into account the era that things were happening, what was popular back then, what was television back then. It's like they don't realize all the stuff that happened in that day and age, and they think today's standards should apply to stuff that already happened, which is complete garbage. What's up, Martin? How you doing? Stuff today, or stuff that happened many, many years ago, should not be held to today's quote-unquote standards. And it's so pathetic that they look for excuses to ruin things that have good memories for a lot of people, that take people back to be like, oh man, that was such a good time. Like, I remember those days, and people will find things to ruin. It's like, get your own life, stay out of mine, and stop complaining about everything. That's all I have to say. I should put ranting on the wheel. Warhawk Rambo says, social justice warriors find shit to bitch about. Yeah, of course they do. Because they have nothing better to do. And they think they're doing good for society when all they're doing is being selfish pricks. That's really what it is. It's like, they're not doing things for the betterment of society. They're doing things because they don't like it and they think it should change. It's like, well, guess what? That's the way it is. If you don't like it, suck it. I think WWE was going back into the Attitude Era in 2006 when they said dick on TV when they were making fun of Mr. McMahon for loving cocks. Well, that was DX too. I remember when Punk and Heyman mocked Jerry Lawler's heart attack, people were so offended. I'll leave it at that. I mean, it's heel heat too. If the King would have died, I'm sure they wouldn't have done that. But being that he returned to commentary, and he was fine after that. I mean, Jerry Lawler even made fun of it himself on commentary too. It's like when somebody snuck up behind him, he's like, "Hey, don't do that. I have a heart condition." It's like he poked fun at it. The King is all about the business. So if Jerry Lawler said it was okay, he would said it was okay for Michael Cole to mock his mother's death on Raw. So cheap heat maybe, but heat is still heat. Take what you can get. If you get people reacting to you in a way, take it. It's better than silence. All right, so we are getting close to the end of the stream. I'm probably going till 6. Probably going till 6. So I need to come up with a good wrestling trivia question in the interim. Mr. Anderson, what were your thoughts on Godfather being the good father? Oh, a lot of right to censor talk on the show today. I thought it was a good transition. I thought he did very well in the heel role after having the Godfather gimmick for a couple years. So I like the right to censor. I thought they did very well. And they were one of the most over as far as heat goes in WWE. I think Steven Richards probably should have. If Steven Richards would have been in the WWE title picture at that time, I'm sure people would have bought it. People wouldn't have seen him as like this cheap gimmick. They would have seen him as like, holy crap, the right to censor could have the WWE championship. Eddie says, at the time Jericho kicked the Brazilian flag at a live event and he was suspended. Well, I think there's a law in Brazil that you shouldn't disrespect the flag or like you get jailed or something. So it crosses a line when it offends cultures. So that I understand. I mean, JBL freaking did the Nazi walk in Germany, which understandably offended a lot of people also. Warhawk says, I respect the performance now, but I hated the right to censor when I was a kid. I'm sure a lot of people did. A lot of people hated the gimmick. It was good heat, too. So props to the guys in R2Z. Martin R. Cruz, what was your thoughts on the King Booker gimmick, Greg, and why? I liked King Booker. I especially like it when he was all proper and whatnot, and then instantly like shot back into Booker T mode. Those segments were amazing. Booker T was a fantastic performer and a versatile performer. So props to him for being able to pull off that gimmick, be the world heavyweight champion with that gimmick, and he did very well for himself. So good for him. Marshall, I could handle it. I'm not a social justice warrior. People need to stop complaining what happened back in the day. Or what happened back in the day was good TV, and I think the right to censor should have had all the titles. Can you imagine RTC with all the championships? I mean, they had the tag team titles, they had the women's title. But imagine, like, maybe not Bull Buchanan, but maybe like Val Venus as Intercontinental Champion, Steven Richards as WWE Champion, and they just have all the gold. Can you imagine how much heat they would have got? And they would have felt like they had full control over WWE, but they never went that distance with the RTC. But they could have. I think it would have worked. Warhawk says King Booker was a good heel gimmick. It absolutely was. And with Queen Charmel by his side, it definitely worked. All right, let me look up a good trivia question. I'm not going to make it an easy one either. Is this one I want to go with? So it's... Okay, this is the one I'm going with. All right, let me just write this question down. What is this? Just like a cupcake thing. My pen would write. My goodness, my pen's not writing. All right. So I got my question, but I will wait until closer to 15 minutes before. So that way we get one more spin guaranteed before this thing ends. Obviously, if you sign in a super chat, you get more spins, but this will also guarantee one spin for whoever gets this trivia question right. So we'll do that in a little bit, but right now back to the comments. Warhawk Rambo, Sir Finley and Sir William Regal in King Booker's court. Yep, that was definitely a good time. A lot of people don't remember JBL's cabinet. I feel like I want to jump into like Battle of the Brands and let them know that JBL, the Bashams, and Orlando Jordan were a part of the cabinet. I recently watched Booker T's collection on the network. Good stuff. I forgot about some really good matches like the Fatal 4-Way at Armageddon. That was him, Eddie, Taker, and JBL too. Yeah, that was a good match. Warhawk Rambo, heel HBK was great regardless of era. That's very true. Martin R. Cruz, what were your thoughts on the Blade film series starring Wesley Snipes if you've seen them before? I'm not much of a movie guy, so I have not seen those. So I can't really provide an opinion. Warhawk Rambo, Pepperidge Farm remembers. Now I want some Pepperidge Farm cookies too. Damn it, people talking about food on here. Remember JBL brought back the Ministry to take out The Undertaker. Yep, Gangrel and Viscera on a random episode of SmackDown. And then Gangrel was never seen again. And Viscera went to Raw, actually, before becoming the ladies' man Viscera, or the world's largest love machine, for a couple years before becoming Big Daddy V. Warhawk Rambo, do you like Mountain Dew, Greg? I do. I'm also a Code Red guy, which is cherry flavored Mountain Dew. Go figure. But I do like Mountain Dew. I'm more of a Pepsi fan than a Coke fan, which my wife disagrees with me hard on. But Martin R. Cruz, what was your thoughts on The Undertaker's American Badass gimmick and why? I like the American Badass gimmick. It was definitely a different era for The Undertaker. And he wasn't restricted by the dead man thing. He could just wrestle normally. And he got to do that for a few years. So I liked it for him. Like the American Badass, like Big Evil, that gimmick, it worked for him. Viscera definitely did have some interesting gimmicks. I mean, remember, he was King Mabel for a while, too. And then he joined the Ministry, and then he's definitely had some interesting gimmicks. Big Daddy V was my favorite gimmick. Do you remember who Big Daddy V attacked in that gimmick's debut? That's not the trivia question, but I'll see if anybody knows it. I'll let you know if you're right. But he debuted in ECW, WWE's ECW. Who remembers V Squared with Val Venus and Viscera? It was a very brief union. And yes, Have a Smoke and Relax, it was the Boogeyman. Very well done. Eddie, I was never a fan of Spike Dudley. Were you? I could take or leave Spike. He was never like high up on my list. Not that he didn't do well. I was just never like, yay, Spike Dudley. Kane or Big Show? Depends, because they could both be very entertaining. That's a hard choice. Hello, everyone, says 25 Perez. How you doing? You missed some super chats earlier. You missed me doing some entrances. But I wanted to see the American Badass Big Evil gimmick return during the Brock Lesnar match at WrestleMania. A lot of people wanted to see that gimmick return the last couple Manias. And there's always that speculation around WrestleMania time frame. Be like, Undertaker to return as the American Badass. It's like, okay. And then he just comes out as the dead man, and people are like, oh, man, come on. Especially when Big Show's heel turns are entertaining every 2 weeks. Yeah, Big Show. I'm pretty sure Big Show has the record in a career for the most babyface and heel turns. Somebody did a video about it, too. What's up, Dustin? How you doing? Would Undertaker as a Ghost Rider type character for a dead man gimmick but riding a motorcycle and carrying a chain? That could have been interesting. Like, just combine his two gimmicks. I don't know. I feel like in late 99 he was kind of doing that because he was still the dead man, but he was in his motorcycle gear. Have a smoke and relax. Wanted to see him get his revenge on Lesnar Battleground to see American Badass. And Dustin with a $10 super chat. Yes, Dustin, you're getting yourself a spin, buddy. This might be it. This might be the shirt. So let's hope so. So here we go. You get a spin, and whatever it lands on, you get. We hit a bankrupt earlier for somebody, but hopefully it doesn't happen to you. What's up, Matt? You've missed some good super chats, but you might be in for a good one here. So here we go. Oh, so close! But it's karaoke. Karaoke. I did say I wanted to do one. So you were just one spot away from a t-shirt. So close. But now I have to find a song in my list here. Let me see here. See what I have here. Karaoke songs. Let me see. What do I want to sing? All right, I got a good song to pick here. Anybody hear of Alice in Chains? I'm sure you have. Alice in Chains is a good band too, and I'm going to sing the song "No Excuses." So I hope I do it justice. I tried to do I tried to do Smells Like Teen Spirit justice, but we'll see how this goes. So the song No Excuses by Alice in Chains, I'm going to try and sing it for you. So here we go. And then after that, I'll probably do the trivia question. So get ready for that one. It's alright. There comes a time. Got no patience to search for peace of mind. Laying low, take it slow. No more hiding, no disguising truths I told. Every day it's something that's me also grow. If I've been sitting by myself, no excuses, then I know. I really enjoy this one. It's such a it's okay, had a bad day, hands on close for breaking rocks all day, drinking blue, I'll bleed for you, think it's funny when you're drowning in it too. Every day it's something that's me also go. If I've been sitting by myself, no excuses, then I know. That's how that other is just this is actually a pretty good version. Yeah, it's fine. We'll walk down the line. Leave our red and go trade for warm sunshine. You, my friend, I will defend. If we change, well, I love you anyway. Every day it's something that's made us so grow. If I'm sitting by myself, no excuses, and I know. There you go. Just let it play out. I almost thought about doing the song Cars, but that's like 2.5 minutes of instrumental straight through. Good song though. Such a good song. But that's what you get. You get the $10. Appreciate the super chat as always, and a lot of stuff happening. Almost landed on t-shirt. I was so close, but we get one more spin for the trivia question, which I guess I'll give out now. So, if you guys are ready, the first comment I've seen, Dustin says, "Good beat. Never heard the song before. Just wanted to send some support since I missed this live. Usually, good stuff." I appreciate it. I try to go for 3 hours every Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We always start, and I appreciate you watching. Appreciate you checking this out, and hopefully let other people know about it. I like doing this. This was a good stream today. Appreciate everybody checking it out. So, this is something new I'm trying at the end of my live streams. It's trivia time with the longest reigning wrestling trivia challenge champion in history. So here we go. Get your fingers ready to type in the answer. The first correct answer I see will get the spin. So I'm going to be checking out the chat very closely. Here we go. Here's your question to earn yourself a free spin of the wheel, Pensen. Who was the Iron Man, the longest lasting person, in the 1994 Royal Rumble match? So who lasted the longest in that match? First person to answer correctly gets a spin. And while you do that, I'm going to check out some of the comments. Warhawk Rambo, your thoughts on the DDP versus Macho Man feud? I thought it was very well done. It did very well for themselves. Put DDP over very well. And that was Macho Man's entire goal, was to put DDP over. And it did wonders for him. I mean, DDP's a Hall of Famer, so it did awesome. Lex Luger was Have a Smoke and Relax's guest. It was not. Dustin Herrick says Shawn Michaels. It also was not Shawn Michaels, which I was surprised about. I checked through it, and the actual Iron Man lasted a minute longer than Shawn did. So, Shawn Michaels was definitely a good guess. Eddie! There you go. Eddie got it right. It was Bam Bam Bigelow. He lasted just over 30 minutes in that match. So, it was Bam Bam Bigelow. Congratulations, Eddie. You get yourself the spin of the wheel pen said. So you actually might earn yourself a free shirt for this. So here we go. One more guaranteed spin of the wheel pen said. Have a Smoke and Relax. Bam Bam, you did get it, but it was after Eddie. So Eddie gets the spin. So Eddie, here you go. Here's your shot of possibly winning yourself a free t-shirt. So there you go. And it's truth time. You get truth time. So you get to ask me one personal question, within reason, of course, and I'll answer it honestly. So no shirt for this one, but we still have about 20 minutes left on the stream, so super chats are still available. So Eddie, you can ask me any question you want to about me personally. So there you go. All right, so no shirts on this stream. I really felt it was time for one, but we still got 20 minutes for super chats. So Eddie, as I wait on your question, we'll continue on with the chat. Have a Smoke and Relax. Always thought his theme was funny. Bam Bam's, yeah. And the video games at the time could not recreate it well, sadly. Dustin Harris says Deep Dark Secrets. Yeah, it is a tough one. It's really tough to come up with something like that. And I wasn't snickering. I've been congested for like 5 months. It's obnoxious. So while you think of that, yeah, Bam Bam Bigelow, like I was trying to think of 42nd Street Matthew. I don't think people talk about Bam Bam enough. One of the best big men ever. Yeah, Bam Bam was great. So good. And it's a shame he passed away so many years ago. Bam Bam was awesome. I actually watched back the 1993 King of the Ring. What's up, YT Woody? How you doing? I watched back the 1993 King of the Ring because I was like, wait a minute. Didn't Bam Bam technically win the King of the Ring? I watched it back, and Bam Bam actually got the fall against Bret Hart in the finals. But then the referee was like, no, Luna interfered. And it was like, man, Bam Bam kind of got screwed in that deal. Bret Hart, like, kind of cheaply won the 1993 King of the Ring. And, man, I felt so bad for Bam Bam. Because, like, he even got a bye during the tournament. He was so good. He should have been the King of the Ring. So it's like, man, Bret Hart kind of made him look like a jobber. I did feel bad for Bam Bam. Bret's 3 matches against Perfect Razor and Bam Bam were amazing. It was actually a good pay-per-view for the time. 93 isn't thought of a really great pay-per-view, but check out the 93 King of the Ring. It was definitely a good one. I mean, Shawn Michaels and Crush was good too. Yeah, it was Crush because Doink interfered. Matthew says, I think Bam Bam losing to Lawrence Taylor kind of killed him as far as his WWF run. Possibly, but you know what? Losing to celebrities is not exactly the worst thing. For Bam Bam, it kind of was. It was kind of his little downward spiral, and then he was gone from the company less than a year later. Y2 Woody, sorry to go off topic, but have you ever collected wrestling figures? I have lots. I'm moving at my house at the moment. I have all my old wrestling stuff. Don't want to sell. Going to take to new house. I collected some. I used to be more into it when I was younger. Um, I do have somewhere stored a Shawn Michaels and a Mr. Kennedy figure from like 2007. Um, so part of me wishes I would have thought about taking it when I met Mr. Anderson a couple years ago to have him sign it, but I think that was like an extra charge. Um, but that would have been cool. That would have been cool to like have a signed Mr. Kennedy action figure. Um, I didn't even think about it till like just now, 2 years after the fact. But I did used to collect them more in the past, but they're they're ridiculously expensive nowadays. So I don't collect them anymore. But I do still have somewhat of a collection of wrestling figures. Only a couple of them are in boxes though, because I used to make them wrestle against each other. So Hasbro toys were where I had what I had when I was a kid. I had like some of the old figures, and like had them wrestle so much that some of the paint rubbed off on them. So I used my wrestling figures a lot when I was younger. If I had the money, would I collect more? Probably. And I'd have a yeah, I definitely have one. Dustin Herrick. The ones nowadays are very detailed for the most part. Yeah, I mean, you figure the technology now, they're definitely a lot more detailed. Y2 Woody. I got the candy one. Somebody bought me a Benoit figure for Christmas 2007. 2000. That's rough. Warhawk. Greg, have you played the Total Extreme Wrestling? Funny thing about that, last week after the stream, I downloaded Extreme Warfare Revenge, which was like the predecessor to TEW. Um, so I do have it downloaded. I was gonna play it again, and I thought about posting it for like creating my own federation. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. That might be an interesting YouTube series though, like playing the Extreme Warfare Revenge games, because those were super detailed. But TEW, I don't think you're working on a TEW mod. That's pretty sweet. If I could create my own Fed in that, like I'd definitely play it. Because I thought about creating like I wanted to use freaking the M Dickey game, Wrestling Empire, like the latest one that came out, Wrestling Empire 3D, to like do an online federation, but I wasn't sure if that would. I wasn't sure if that would get the views, but EWR or TEW might. Y2 Woody. Paul London, known for that awesome slide entrance to the ring and that Snitsky clothesline at the Rumble, where he landed on his freaking head and almost break his neck. Greg, did you mark out for Pete Dunne, Aleister Black, and Gargano at the Rumble? I did. I did enjoy their appearances. Eddie, you haven't sent me your truth time question yet. You still thinking, buddy? We only got 15 minutes left on the stream. I always enjoyed the surprise entrance. I know it's not like old school entrance like Jeff Jarrett was. Like that one completely surprised me. But having the NXT guys in the Rumble was definitely cool. Y2A says, and the smile with McMahon and the window exploding. Yeah, they made fun of that on a episode of Raw. I think he pretty much got buried after that, and Kendrick and him got separated shortly after. And then Kendrick became the Brian Kendrick, which at the time in 2008, very underrated gimmick. The Brian Kendrick was sweet, and he was technically WWE champion for like 6 minutes. Watch Unforgiven, 2008. Corbin needs new attire. A lot of people say that, but what exactly would you put him in? Like, you don't put him in like a singlet or anything. You could put him in the long pants, but if people hate the attire so much, it's like, hey, if people hate different things about you and you're a heel, why not run with it? Maybe he's just annoying the crap out of people. He's like, why are you still dressed up like that? It's like because he wants to and because he wants to piss you off, and it's working. The Kendrick deal was good, but at the Rumble 2009, he fucked up his elimination with the wrong person. Shoveled from then. Um, yeah, because Triple H tried to throw him over, and he got caught up in the ropes. Dress him up like Demolition, the new Crush. Well, do you want him Demolition Crush? Do you want him like Kona Crush? Or do you want him like Nation of Domination Crush? Or like that weird Crush he was in like 94 with Fuji. So many different versions of Crush. Or DOA Crush. There you go. Or Brian Adams of Chronic. That guy went through a lot of gimmicks, didn't he? Which Rumble was the most star-studded? 2007, 2006, 89, 98, or 19? 98 was a good one. They say that 07 is the most star-studded of all time. I honestly thought 2017 had one of the best lineups in Rumble history, but the execution of that match was terrible. I mean, they had a lot of big stars in the 2017 Rumble, and for a lot of them, you're like, it could make sense if any of these guys win. Like, they announced like 15 or 16 people. It's like, I could see any of them winning. And that's the thing about the Rumble. You don't want to have too much filler. You want to have guys who be like, okay, it's believable that they could win the Rumble. 2019 didn't have that. I think everybody and their mother thought Seth Rollins was winning. I love the 07 Rumble. Flair's entrance and Taker's entrance was so cool. Last Benoit entrance, too, at a Rumble. He got a great reaction. 2007 was an excellent Rumble. It's one of my top 5. All right, we got 10 minutes left for this live stream. We've done very well as far as things go with that. So I did the entrances of Val, Venus, Lacey Evans, Mr. Perfect. Still waiting on the truth time span. I may have to come up with another trivia question here if Eddie doesn't cash in his question. The Rumble where the Giant Gonzalez came was a cluster. Well, you figure Giant Gonzalez only attacked The Undertaker in 93. Next year's Rumble, do you see any surprises? I mean, there's surprises in the Rumble every year. That's why I love it. I love the Rumble because you never know who's going to come out. Y2 Woody says, how many times have you hit a 180 on that dartboard, Mr. Cherry? I've never hit a 180. I have hit triple 20 twice. Like in the same 3-dart span, but I've never hit 180. That is a goal. I need to start getting back into throwing darts, though. Especially on Fridays when I have time to do it. Because I don't work Fridays. I work 4 tens. So I do have time to do it. I just haven't really had a whole lot of time to play darts, which I need to. It's fun. Plus, I got enough space to do it. I need to get into playing darts. I've been watching it on TV out of the UK recently. Good stuff. I used to watch darts on TV. Like, I used to be into watching darts and a lot of World Series of Poker. I have not watched poker as much in recent years, but I need to because it's good stuff. Greg, how about you draw 15 in next year's Rumble? You'll be in the Final Four for sure, and it's in your favorite match. Get a pool table. I'd love to. I don't have the space for it, though, currently. But I do like playing pool. I'm actually better at that than I am at darts. Way better now. I'm sure Matt remembers. We had a pool table in college. I was way worse at pool then. I actually just used the pool table to play poker. Because nobody would play pool. And it's like, hey, I want to play poker. And it became like a thing during our lunch. Like, I had like a 2-3 hour lunch break in between classes. So I went to the student union. I played poker. Had like 5 or 6 people. It wasn't for money. It was just for fun. And I typically won. So there you go. Who do you think is the worst Royal Rumble winner of the last 20 years, excluding Vince McMahon? Um, you're right, Matt. It pretty much was just used exclusively for poker. Um, the worst Rumble in the last um, worst Rumble winner in the last 20 years, probably Del Rio or Braun. Really, I know Del Rio went on to be WWE champion after the fact and World Heavyweight champion, but him winning the Rumble seemed kind of forced. And Braun winning the 50-man Greatest Royal Rumble was like, eh. It didn't feel special because they didn't mention it on TV after that. Like, he didn't come out with that Greatest Royal Rumble championship or anything like that. I don't know. What was the biggest markout moment you had in a Rumble? Um, Batista instead of Reigns winning. Um, I was actually there for the 2014 Royal Rumble. So that was pretty cool. Granted, that wasn't a fantastic lineup, but probably the biggest markout moment would be Kevin Nash coming out in the 2014 Rumble. And that's only because I was there for it. And it was so special. Mr. Anderson, did you act like a lady during Lacey's entrance? I did. I did. Definitely did. Warhawk says, I hate the fact WWE does business with Saudi, and I cheered for Batista over Reigns. Dustin, was he Diesel? He was not Diesel. He was just Kevin Nash for that one. He was Diesel for 2011, though. Entrant number 20 in the 2010 Royal Rumble, Shelton Benjamin. Without even having a look, because I know Cena was 19. Do you remember the Raw when Bret Hart's music played? You're talking about the Shawn Michaels promo in Montreal. Yes, that was a great moment. I did mark out for that a little bit too, because that would have been such an epic confrontation. But then, like a couple weeks later, they did the whole Matt Hardy deal with Edge and Lita's wedding. That was pretty sweet too. All right, so we got about 5 minutes left. If anybody wants to send a super chat for one last spin, I might just do another quick trivia question here since I didn't hear from Eddie. So let me do this. I just want to make sure I have this right. Giovanni Zanella, I'm going to SmackDown soon. That's pretty sweet. Hope you have fun. Live shows are definitely typically better in person. All right. So, I'm going to send another trivia question, also Rumble related. And this one's going to be pretty simple. You just need a number. What number did Dude Love enter in the 1998 Royal Rumble? That is your question. You get a spin. Because I never heard from Eddie, so. So answer the question. What number did Dude Love enter in the 1998 Royal Rumble? Cherry Mark says 13. Dustin says 16. Both of those are incorrect. But you still have shots. Keep answering the question. Warhawk says 11. Cherry Mark says 13 again. It's still not 13. It's not 11 either. Were you ever at a WCW live event? I always regret that I never got to see one live. Not that they came to our area often. I don't think they ever did. I don't think I ever remember WCW running an event in Pittsburgh. Because I probably would have gone if they did, but I don't ever remember them coming. 21, 24, 8, 7, 23. All incorrect. There's only up to 30 numbers, guys. So you still have... and you can only guess one or the other, Michael, at a time. Because if you guess two and one of them's right, I'm not going to tell you which one's right. Dustin says 18. That is not correct. 98, they were in Pittsburgh. I remember the commercial and begging to go, but wasn't able to. I don't even remember them being in Pittsburgh in 98. Was it for like a live event or Nitro or Thunder? I definitely don't remember that. 9 and 4, both incorrect. 15, also not correct. We're getting close. It was a live event. Giovanni Zanella, 28. Giovanni, you are correct. It is 28. Warhawk, Giovanni just beat you as far as time. It is 28, yes. So you, sir, get a spin of the wheel pen since I never heard from any. So I do want to give away the free spin and have it be used very well. So here we go. Rose story. I don't want to do a rose story. You got one of those already. There we go! There we go! Giovanni! Giovanni! You won yourself a t-shirt, so it took till the end of the stream, but you got it done. Giovanni, hit me up on Twitter at PA Sensation. Send me your info. Go to my Pro Wrestling Tees store, prowrestlingtees.com/PA Sensation. Tell me which shirt you want, and send me your address, and I will get that off to you. Tell you what, for giving away the t-shirt for the trivia question, there you go. So hit me up on Twitter at PA Sensation. Just send me a DM. It should be open. You might have to follow me. So there you go. I live near Pittsburgh, pissed when I missed the Rumble. I was unemployed for most of 2013. Leading into 2014, fortunately, I got a job. There was no way in hell I was missing the Rumble. So there you go. So yeah, Giovanni, hit me up on Twitter. Send me your information, send me your shipping address and all that stuff, and I will get that off to you. That, ladies and gentlemen, is a good time to finish the live stream. So finally I was able to give one away. It took till the end of the stream, but I told you I was going to do it. It's just because I didn't feel like telling a road story, so hey, whatever. So next week, back at the same time, Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern, I will be back with another trivia question for another free spin of the wheel pen send, but of course, your best shots of getting a spin on the wheel are sent in the super chats, which I appreciate all the ones that were sent. Greg, who is number 7 at this year's Rumble? Mahal. So, until next time, follow me on Twitter at PA Sensation, on Instagram at PA Sensation if I decide that I feel like using it. I just use it to like talk to people. ProWrestlingTees.com/PA Sensation for my shirts. YouTube.com/Luck of the Draw right here. Go check that out. And I will see you guys next week for another live stream. Appreciate all the support for this one. It was a good one. Let's try and outdo it next week. See you guys then.